Welcome to the RPG Project, a For Geeks by Geeks and Let's Get Rollin' collaborative event where we are bringing maybe indies or lesser-known TTRPGs straight to you so you can bring them to your tables and broaden your horizons. Today, we will be playing N.L. Morrison's Print Weaver, which I think is one of just the dopest character creations in TTRPGs. But if you're wondering...
I didn't realize you had the hard copy of it. That is boss. Oh, I need to figure out where to get this.
We'll have the link in bio, so thanks for that, Geoffsits.
Yeah. Segue.
But my name is T. I am a talking head at For Geeks by Geeks. I've got about 10 years of TTRPG experience. I am a dungeon master, a game master, and a master of ceremonies. I believe those were all the titles I have collected over my 10 years of table head experience so far. But yeah, if you're curious how to play this game, we will have an actual play for you in this video as well as a review. And then also attached to this video will be the character creation and how to play video. So you can have any questions, comments, concerns before you start running the game yourself, available to you at your fingertips to be able to skim and use to your heart's desire. Who's with me? Who's my co-host?
I'm Brit, and I am one of the talking heads over at Let's Get Rollin'. And I am only a player of about 3 years. And the only reason I started to play was because my husband wanted something to do together during the pandemic. So that is the only reason I got into TTRPGs. And now look at me. So I am a player, more player than a DM. But I'm excited to try this game. For now, but I'm excited to play this because it is out of my realm of... I am not a combat heavy player. I'm more of a role player, so this is right up... Well, this is not right up my alley. This is something
at all.
At all. No.
This one, this one is a little bit more combat than some of the other indie ones we've looked at.
This is combat heavy, so it's very out of my realm, but I'm excited to bring role-playing aspect to it, so... Yeah.
It's exciting.
And then next we got the man, the myth, the legend, the blackkidflash.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm Flash. I have like zero experience at all. Like I'm a fresh spawn, so gonna kind of just be, dipping my toes in the TTRPG water. So yeah, this is a brand new experience. I have only met 2 of these people before. So this is gonna be it's gonna be an experience. I'm really excited.
Yes, but we're excited for you this to be your first time, and we're
Yes.
excited to take you through those waters. So,
And by that I mean I'm shoving you into the deep end.
Yeah, throw me in the deep end. Like, I can only dog paddle, but I'm excited.
Now we got the man with probably the best camera quality I've ever seen in my life. After this, I need to know what you're running, please and thank you, because you look fucking immaculate.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Randall, or you can call me Magic. I'm the headmaster over at Magic Academy, where we play a lot of TTRPGs, and we use stuff. Yeah, that's all I got.
how long have you been playing, though?
A year and a half.
Nice.
Less than me?
Yeah,
Nice.
I've only been doing it for a year and a half.
Damn, you put on a good show, bro.
Thank you. I've been bullshitting for a lot longer, so
That's all running a game is.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's honestly
I guess
saying yes and yes
No,
and.
but
you have a scaffolding, like the barest skeleton of structure, and then just everything in between that is just that's exactly what was planned out. Frantically writing notes down on the thought process that the players had.
yeah, it's been a lot
I
of
think
fun.
Thomas showed me his notes once, and it was like a couple names and then a place, and he's like, yeah, and then everything else I bullshitted.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I thought there was a lot more planning that went behind it. He's like, nah, you guys kind of control the story. I just kind of go yes and.
We need to do a behind the screen and have a DM talk and kind of spill the secrets of what it's like to be on this side of the table, because that's just a universal understanding of, because the first campaign I ran was I filled in every bit of possible information that could come up. None of that shit will get 99% of that will go unseen, and then your character, your player is going to ask that one question that you did not account for. You're like, well, none of this makes a fucking difference anymore, and you will stop doing that ever again.
Oh yeah.
But last and certainly not least, because this man's got 20 plus years of TTRPG experience under his belt, we have the Geoffsits.
Hi there. As T said, I have more than 2 decades of tabletop RPG experience. We were talking before we started recording and everything, and my dad has raised me on tabletop RPGs. Started off when I was in like elementary school, and he pulled out his old D&D advanced books from the 1980s. So I'm one of those kids. And T brought me on specifically to be the resident rules lawyer again, because he knows that I've got the brain to read through rule books and just compartmentalize that information. So hopefully I'm not too annoying about it, but I will be the person who goes, actually. Yeah.
Which is very important, because I am a rule of cool DM, but with us doing a review of a TTRPG designed and written a certain way, I'm going to try to go as rules as written as possible to show the respect to NL Morrison and everybody involved in this project. As we discussed off screen, we may kind of skew some rules on our own table, just as we see fit for our own entertainment purposes, but we will have notations and caveats listed like, hey, rule as written here, rule of cool that we went with here. So I'm going to try my best to be as rules as written, but that will likely come into play where Geoffsits corrects me where I am incorrect.
And a lot of you may recognize me from my time that I spent with T at 4 Geeks by Geeks. So T and I have worked together a lot and have built up a good rapport where like the two of us communicate well without actually talking and respect each other enough where I know when he... I respect you a ton at least. Damn. But we
He just brought me on to be a complete asshole to him.
Good. Okay, someone needs to check him, I guess.
That's what I have Sky for. I don't need another person in my life. All right, but any last minute questions, comments, concerns before we dive into this?
We use D6s for this one, right?
We use D10s for this one. So if you are looking to pick up Printweaver, Geoffsits is going to disagree with me on this one immediately, but you are going to use what is probably the least common used die, because you're not going to be able to casually pick this up. You're either going to need to buy a polyhedral set or specifically buy a set of D10s, or if you prefer digital dice like the weirdo co-host that I decided to do this project with, you can do this all digitally. So
I'm using a digital die.
They are more fair.
There's nothing wrong with it.
The dice gods don't do anything to influence the digital dice. So like all the goats back here that I've sacrificed over the past 2 days would be for naught if I end up using digital dice.
I will say, when I sit down at it, and if I'm sitting at a virtual table, I'm going to roll virtual dice. I don't have much space to work with, so why not? But when I am sitting at a table, which never happens, I actually use dice. I mean, would I go out and buy this stupid timeout chair?
Yes, you would. Because it's cute as fuck.
I wasn't going to use it. It is cute.
Yes.
But, I do use real dice sometimes.
My input on this is like, as a DM, I like seeing what people roll. I don't like, just because I trust most of the players, but there's always the people who are like, there's always the power gamers who are just like, well, it's so easy to like roll ahead of time and say that I got this really good roll, when really I'm just like, nah, just if we're at the table and you're making a roll, let me know so that we can see it happen, because we want the dice to be dramatic, right?
Right.
And then when it's on a digital thing, like T doesn't care for digital dice too much, so he doesn't force us to use the Roll20 dice roller, which, to be fair, thank you, it sucks, I hate it. But I do
eats
like
CPU when you roll it, I
Yeah.
swear. Another thing about it is dice help tell the story.
Yep. Failure
Regard-
is a good thing in narrative senses.
It can make this huge story arc. And I've been playing with T for about a year now, on and off, like one shots and stuff. And we've played enough that like failures sometimes help like bring the best storylines. So don't be afraid to roll bad.
You can catch us on Cloudscape live on Thursdays.
oh yeah, there's some really good ones in that campaign too.
All right. But yeah, so Printweaver, just a full caveat, this is a war-heavy game as compared to a lot of other TTRPGs that'll be likely showcased here are going to be more role-play based. Printweaver is a Souls-like game where these players are expected to die. While in most games that is the end of a character's story, in Printweaver that's just another day in the life of a traveler. Downside of that is when you die, you go back to a respawn point away from your homies, and they have to go back and find you. This game is going to be much more in the sense of Pathfinder, where you are actually paying attention to traveling and resource management. So this game isn't going to be for everybody, but I do believe this is a solid game to teach newbies like Flash when it comes to letting go of the ego attached to a character, because yes, characters are going to die. It does suck. But in this game, it is going to allow you to be a lot more free in your character decisions because you don't have the weight of death bogging you down.
Well, I'm a DBD player, so I'm not attached to any character. I die all the time, so I'm fairly used to my characters dying.
Alrighty, so let's go around the table here real quick and let's introduce our character and give just a generalized breakdown of what your character is and what they're going to be bringing to the table, and then we can start this adventure. I'm the game master. I'm everything other than our player characters.
I am playing Karma Varkis. I am the twin sister of my brother. I'll let him introduce himself. And I am very tanky. I like to take my mace and pound the heads of the printless.
Am I supposed to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I am Sir Kermy of Clevelandia, and I am. If you laugh, I won't die. I'm gonna laugh if you laugh. But I am Sir Kermy of Clevelandia. I am pretty much like a mage. I have. I'm a very stealthy mage. I have.
Ribbit.
Yeah. I'm not very tanky, I will say that. I have like no type of strength, but I am very, very high willpower kind of character. So yeah, I don't know how else to describe myself.
Green, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm green. I had to leave Miss Piggy back at home.
Damn it.
I don't think she's fit for this kind of adventure, but I'm very excited to venture outside of the streets. Sesame.
Sorry, I love how already in this, just in the party, we've got Kermit the Frog as a wizard.
Kermit. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog as a wizard. And so like we've got the meme character, and then we've got me who like, this is the character sheet I came up with because I'm like, oh yeah, this is a dark, brooding setting. I need to make sure that I have something that brings me back to it.
Relief in every story.
And just real quick, Geoffsits, in 2 decades of experience, how quickly did you go to a comedic character in the RPG world?
Oh, I mean,
Scoobert.
as pretty much as soon as the dice decide that you're not a badass.
But no, that's what I'm saying though. Most of the time, new players are making these like intensely serious characters. You don't get to the mage hand wielding bread character until like character 5 or 6. Flash came in like, fuck all that. We're going straight Kirby, bitch. Kermit.
Yep.
Oh shit. All right, Magic. Who you playing? How do you follow that up?
Well, I really wanted to be Magic, but my fingers decided to say about that. I was going around to different people in my house going, show me your fingers. Because I didn't know the difference between loops and arches. I couldn't figure it out.
Same. My wife had to help me.
So, I'm really strong. My name is Veil Black. I have a very long sword on my back, very Buster. If you've seen Final Fantasy, kind of like that big, just unwieldy large, but with a fucking 9 strength. Come at me, I'm gonna wield it one-handed.
Fuck around and find out. Ooh, do you have a Ring of Strong?
I do have a Ring of Strong.
Oh, that's scary as fuck.
I have a shield in one arm and that Buster sword in the other, and then I also have, notably, a kind of like leather sash against my chest, and looped onto my side is a silver chalice that kind of just dingles there. That's me. Rawr.
Very, like,
I am
very
Tank.
descriptive. I like that.
And Geoffsits, who are we playing?
I am playing twin brother of Garma Varkis. Geir Varkis looks a lot like River Phoenix. Shoulder-length blonde hair, except for one braid right here that is dark black, like dark brown, almost black. Same color as his sister's hair, actually. Amber brown eyes, and almost always wearing this cloak that seems to blend in with the shadows around him. Me being, having to be the quirky hipster that I am, I actually have obscured fingerprints on my left hand, which led to a couple of really cool magic items that I get to start off with. One being this ink armor, and we'll probably go into that a little bit more as we play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ink imbued armor, magic armor, so I can kind of just decide what it looks like, and it's just this cloak that bathes me in shadow and ink. Sitting at my side, or kind of like the silver chalice that, what was the name again?
Veil Black.
Veil Black?
Mm-hmm. Or just Veil.
Veil, okay.
V-A-I-L.
V-A-I-L, got it. Like Veil's silver chalice at his hip, I have this in a weird leather strap that is constructed to hold such an object. I have a black crystal orb. And then walking around with me is, most of the time, is a timber wolf that doesn't necessarily seem to interact with the world around it. A spirit companion of sorts.
Alrighty, well let's kick this adventure off. One last little factoid I need everybody to share before we set off on this adventure, because as previously stated, you guys are known as travelers and you have died often. Mm-hmm. What is the wildest way that your character has died on one of their adventures?
Killed by boar.
Cooked alive.
Did you say cooked alive?
Yeah, frog legs.
Oh, that's giving me so much ideas.
Yeah. I've been cooked alive before. Frog legs.
That's amazing.
Just off the top. I
love
Brit,
that.
don't look at me like
So
that.
good.
Don't look at me like that.
Please
That
tell
is
me
so
they at
good.
least use more than salt and pepper to season them. Ugh.
All right, Magic.
I probably just like swallowed whole by a giant beast.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
And Geoffsits?
I actually haven't thought of the wildest way yet. I know the first one Brit and I talked about, and that was the one that I watched my sister get gored in the back as I was trying to chase after her to protect her. The wimpiest way was my first time dying, and it was just eating the wrong berries. I didn't realize that they were, usually bright red berries you stay away from, yes. So I found some dark blueberries. Also stay away from, apparently, because they are not good for you. Wildest way I died was probably most memorable and most likely to brag about was I was first one to die because for some reason sister decided she didn't want to be up front against a massive creature, and I got picked up and ripped in half.
Hydra. It was Hydra, brother. The Hydra.
Oh, this is fantastic. All right. So in most TTRPG experiences, you go through the typical, you meet at a tavern, you have 6 hours of conversation with each other before somebody's like, we should set off. So we're going to skip that portion. We are going to start with the adventure underway. You guys are setting off the morning of to set out to establish the next safe haven for this realm. Quick reminder for how this works is this is going to be a large-based traveling game. You guys have the option to travel up to 4 hexes per day, morning, midday, evening, and night. If you choose to travel all 4, you will get a point of exhaustion. When you set up camp at night, you have to use 10 ink per individual in the camp with you, or the spell/ritual will not keep you safe. And then there will be a rolled event every time you move hexes. On your guys' side of Roll20, can you see the hexes generally well enough to know the movements?
Yep.
Okay. So we will start off then. Who is going to be leading the way for this adventuring party?
I'm assuming that leading the party would mean making rolls to look out for danger ahead of us. And would that end up being a willpower roll?
So that is going to be less such of a thing in this game. In this one, kind of how it breaks down with your encounters. Your morning encounters, monsters are still sleeping. The likelihood that something negative is going to happen to you is very slim to none. As the day progresses, the danger increases more and more. It's going to be less of, hey, I'd like to roll before we move into this hex, or it's going to be less of that and more of, hey, while you're in this hex, this thing takes place. So this is going to be a much more reactive game than a proactive game. But then when it comes to combat, you guys just tell me what badass things you want to do, and then I will figure out the rules associated for you to be able to do so.
I do not mind being leader. Maybe Wolf Companion can also help keep track of things a little bit ahead of us.
Always in front.
Oh, keeping eye out for danger. There's so often that,
keep your eye out for danger when I get gored by boar.
You told me to stay behind that time, and in all fairness, I stayed behind, just not as far behind as you wanted me to.
So as you guys are having this conversation and making your way through your morning adventure, let's see. Your first encounter of the day is a pair of centaurs are looking about for something that was stolen from them.
Okay.
What do you mean you lost it? Listen, it was on my hip, and then as I was running through the woods, it was no longer on my hip. You buffoon, we needed that. What do you guys do?
Oi.
What?
I vote we mind our business. We just keep going on our adventure. That has nothing to do with us. That's my vote.
Hold on. We may be able to, if we help them out a little bit. It seems like they're just missing something. If we help them find whatever they are missing, maybe they can give us a little bit of insight into what's ahead in the forest. They probably know woods much more than we do. And
this is why you're the leader. Yeah, this is exactly why you're the leader. Amazing.
more so, Karma and I have been doing this for roughly 50 years, and longer. Sister, how long have we been? You also have lost track.
No. I bring strength. You bring brains. That's the yin and yang that we do. Now, how did I get Swedish?
I was wondering. I just wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm going to go off the rails.
I love it. So, unfortunately, neither one of us bring big brain. So, neither one of us are great with numbers. That is why we hunt monsters instead of keep track of ink. But so, maybe we can help out centaurs with trying to find whatever they lost, and they can give us an idea of where to go or stay away from in forest.
All right, so downside of this game is they really don't have your typical perception or investigation because your stats are simply strength, will, and dexterity. So we are immediately adding our own rules to the game where we are going to create a role and ability to be able to do things here. Of the three stats, I'm going to say will is probably going to be the most fitting situation. So if you would like to assist in trying to find this item for the centaurs, you can make a will check. When you roll your d10 for your success, you are looking for 6 and above. If you roll with an advantage, you're looking for 5 and above. You're rolling with disadvantage, you're looking for 7 and above.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a 7 and above because I got a 0 in will, which does mean we get to address the cool thing of
the luck die.
Yeah, the chance dice.
Yes.
So which means I roll at disadvantage, but if I get a 10, I get to keep rolling.
With a chance die, if you're forced to make a check with 0 dice, you may instead roll a 1d10 with disadvantage as Providence favors the bold. If you roll a 10 on a chance die, roll another chance die. There's no limit to the number of chance dies you get when rolling 10s. And then to clarify, Flash, not calling you out, but you are a newbie, so you're going to be the one I kind of address here. 10 on a d10 is a 0. It will not say 10.
Okay. So it'll say 0. And
Yep.
So we're all rolling right now?
Anybody that would like to assist in this search here, yes, you can roll.
Yeah,
I do Hulk smash. I don't really.
You know what? I will totally roll. I have a pretty decent will. I'll go for it.
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
What do you have for will?
3.
Flash.
Or
sorry,
I
Sir
have-
Kermy.
Yes, I have a 4.
So
you will get to roll 4d10, and for any number that is 6 or above, that will count as a success for this check.
I rolled a 10. I look.
How many? So you roll the 4 die and let me know how many successes you get, because your successes dictate how well you do in this check.
Okay, so I need to roll it 4 times.
Yes, you need to roll it 4 times. Yep.
The D10 4 times. Okay, so the first one is.
And when you're using digitalize, you usually can just type 4d10 and it'll roll that die X amount of times, whatever that first numerical digit is.
Okay, so I put.
I have 3
I wish I could like show
Okay.
you my screen here.
So 3 successes, perfect.
Okay. Okay, so the first one was 10, the second one is 6,
Okay.
the third one is 10, the fourth one is 7.
Jesus. All right. So between the two of you, you very quickly begin to kind of look around the wooded area as the centaurs were just watching you guys argue amongst yourself and kind of bickering and laughing as they were watching the same thing they were doing. But as you guys are kind of looking around, you see a small stuffed teddy bear that got lodged under a root.
Okay.
As you see the younger of the two centaurs, that's it. And as he turns to his older brother, you buffoon. At least now she won't kill us. Thank you, travelers, as they almost say that with a level of disgust for your kind.
I'm going to look them up and down, like, the same way with disgust. Yes. I'm glad you needed our smarts to help you find your worthless teddy bear.
You see a glint of anger wash across the younger centaur's face as he begins to step up to you, arms folded, and then opens them wide and wraps you in a big hug. I understand you're angry, but you should not take it out on the forest. As he kind of picks you up and squeezes you a little tighter than like a normal hug would be, as they set you back down and kind of venture back off into the woods.
I was this close to shooting a fireball. Look, I had your back. I was this close.
Karma adjusts herself, and she was like, "At least my back got cracked this morning."
Glad we're all friends now. Did anyone get the lay of the land from them before they took off?
No, it kind of happened all very, very quickly.
Yeah, it seemed to. Yeah.
I would use the term friends very, very lightly.
Great.
You
We
go
are
chase
so
after
good
them,
at this.
brother.
I
Brother,
would
we'll make
rather-
friends.
No, I'm good.
As you guys are having this conversation, moving into your next hexagon throughout the day. So that was your morning adventure. So now this is going to be your midday movements. You guys come across a small village filled with giant fire ants.
Oh.
Everybody knows what a fire ant is. They're the little bastards that like to red in
little
color,
ants
like
that
to
breathe
bite you.
fire.
And the shit, yeah, they breathe fire on you, and it sucks. But these ones are quite
Giant.
large. And when I say quite large, I mean you could probably ride them into battle. But as you were kind of observing in this village, looking out from the forest line, there is nothing short of a militia standing before you with a single human standing in the middle of the doorstep of this village, giving the fire ants orders. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to try and sneak a little bit closer and overhear what he is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dex check if you're going to be trying to stealth in.
Okay, well, I have the Ring of Secret, right?
Okay, and what does that do?
So that, like, gives me stealth if I am correct, right? Like, I'm stealthier.
I've got the rule book open. Let me roll up to it real quick.
Yes.
Let me go to my rings here real quick. Ring of stealth, you said?
Silently.
Ring of Secret.
Ring of secret, thank you.
Yes.
His steps don't make noise.
Okay. I am going to say you still do need to roll because they have eyeballs. But I will say you have advantage with that Ring of Secret because it's going to be much easier for you to traverse through the woods without any additional. So when you roll, you are looking for 5 and above on your successes, not 6 and above.
Do
Okay, and
ants
is
have eyeballs?
Yes, in this world they do.
and I'm rolling one time this time, correct?
What is your dex stat?
5.
So you actually get to roll 5 d10 on this one. And then for every success of 5 and over will count towards this difficulty check or obscurity check in this game.
So, to those listening in, so when you roll, your strength, your dex, or your will is not your modifier. It is the amount of dice that you roll.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So
I got
I don't know
3
if this is
successes.
right because like they're only giving me successes, and I don't feel like that's correct. I'm just gonna say it.
If it happens, it happens.
I mean,
Okay.
you have a 50% chance of succeeding right now, so
Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a 7, a 9, a 9, a 9, and an 8.
Okay, so yeah, you are moving through these woods with such grace. Outside of your hunter, like the actual hunter ranger of the group here, Geoffsits' character, Vlad and or Vale and son of a bitch. What was your character's name, Brit?
Sir Kermie.
Karma.
Vlad and Vale and Karma. Sir Kermit disappears. You have zero idea where this little green bastard just disappeared to. You see him take a step, and then just like a Naruto fucking banishment where it just like flashes out of existence. Kermie is gone. And the next time you see him, he is laying on top of the cottage roof with his head peeking over down on top of the human speaking to the ants.
Yeah.
I got 3 successes with my roll.
So with 3 successes, you don't do it as cool as Sir Kermie does, but you're able to gracefully walk in the kind of the formation of these fire ants as they were kind of like circling around this cottage, sliding underneath their bodies, stepping in step with them. And you manage to be able to get up into the corner of the cottage where you begin to overhear. All right, everyone. I really appreciate all of your hard work this evening. You guys did a fantastic job, and if you are ready to call it a day, that is going to be it. You guys will get a full day's wages, and we'll just see you back tomorrow as the giant fire ants just begin to disperse through the woods.
Okay.
Capitalism.
Okay. Yes. So can I like try and talk to one of them? Can I? Do they speak a different language?
You can find out.
We have no idea. Yeah.
Can I try and engage with one of them that's alone?
You want to talk to one of the humans, or you want to talk to one of the fire ants?
One of the fire ants.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another dexterity check.
While you're still on the roof? Just like
Hey, it's me up here, Kermie. It's me, Kermie. Hey. Okay. An 8.
So did you roll all 5 die again?
Oh, 5. I just rolled 1. Okay, hold on.
That's okay.
I would also like to try
10,
and pull up next
5, 3, 2.
So 10, 8, 5, 3, 2.
Yeah.
So that's 3 successes then. Okay. Geoffsits, what were you saying?
I would also like to try and mosey up next to a different ant as it's walking away and explain the benefits of a communist lifestyle and unionization of the labor.
Damn, we're getting topical with everything going on right now. All right, so Sir Kermie, you slide off of the roof as you land next to one of the smaller giant ants, and you can safely assume this is probably one of the younger fire ants. What do you say to him?
Hey, so what's going on here? What are you up to?
You see the fire ant like freeze and then snap its head around as a flame spout just kind of shoots out of its mouth in fear.
Oh, okay.
But with a 3, you don't have to worry about taking damage. You're able to kind of like duck down in your squat run as the flames.
Taco Bell for lunch.
As the, I want to say pincers, but I don't know if that's the correct
Mandibles.
Mandibles, thank you. As they snap, pinching off the fire from being spread.
Nice.
And it just kind of stares at you and almost cowers to your presence.
It's okay. I'm a friend. I promise. I just want to make sure that everything that's happening is something that you're okay with.
It gives you a confused look and then just scurries off into the woods.
Damn. Oh, gotta work on my approaches, I guess. Okay.
All right, Geoffsits, let's hear your union. I'm sorry, how many successes did you get on your roll?
I'm rolling another dex check.
Another dex check, please.
Okay, that's going to be... my dex is 4. So that is 2.
So yeah, with a 2, you managed to catch one of them on their way out. Most of the fire ants not seeing you, as one of them catches you, and just like the other fire ant, gets a little started. Another plume of fire gets shot out of its mouth, and then getting pinched off by its mandibles. But this one gets much more battle ready than skirmished as the other one did.
Whoa, okay, I understand why you are antsy and on edge. That is totally understandable under a capitalist system. Work has you pushed far too hard. Imagine, if you will, though, if you and your other comrades, your ant laborers, would work together, try and talk to management, the man who is telling you what to do. There are more of you than there are of him. And really, you have all of the power, all of the cards in your hand. And if you stop working until he listens to your demands, he will have no choice but to give in to them. Eventually, you can even use this leverage to turn this entire site into a commune, a labor-owned or a worker-owned. I don't know if you want to call it even business anymore. What are you doing here? Like, are you harvesting? Are you mining? Just talking to this ant without any like. I'm not expecting it to
DM
talk
rolls.
back.
I'm gonna need you to give me a. All right, now I gotta figure out how combat works here.
Yeah, what the
Oh,
fuck do you want me to? Oh.
You don't need to do anything. I rolled on my end, and so this is gonna be a mandibles attack.
Oh no.
So Karma,
Yes.
which one do you think is going to get hit first?
My brother. My brother.
That one does look very upset.
Little green one can hop away. My brother, not so much.
Not so much good at hopping. Yeah.
He tries to walk into situations and give his opinion on things, and he turn it into bad situations.
All right, so its first mandible attack is going to miss wildly, and the second one is a 4, which I do believe beats your obscurity rating.
Yeah, obscurity is only 1.
That is going to the mandible is going to manage to catch you in the arm as it pinches down the ink armor, not quite being able to protect you, and you will take 1 point off of your strength stat, because before you take vitality damage, unless stated otherwise, damage will go to your strength score before it goes to your vitality. And we are going to go ahead and now roll for, Jesus Christ, I've been playing 10 years. What's the fucking word? Initiative.
Initiative?
There we
Yes.
Oh,
I
initiative!
wanted to ask a question too.
Go ahead.
If I wanted to like tame one of these fire ants, would that be possible? Can I like tame them?
This one in particular that you were speaking with has left. If you
Okay.
could manage to maybe beat this one, that is a conversation we can possibly have.
Okay, cool. That sounds nice. I like that.
But initiative in this game is collaborative. So our non-strength or our non-dexterous people are going to kind of prohibit your guys' advancements here. But between Geoffsits and Flash, you guys should do okay. So I need everybody to roll dexterity for their initiative and let me know your total number of successes, please.
Also, my wolf gets to be added in since they are a combatant.
Yes.
And so between me and my wolf, we got 5 successes.
Okay.
As everyone else is rolling and we're figuring that out, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick.
Perfect.
Yeah, me as well. I rolled 1. I can only roll 1, and I rolled a 5.
Okay.
I can only roll 1, and I rolled a 2, so that's a fail.
Okay. And then
I need to roll 5 times, correct?
that's how many. That's your dex stat, correct?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay.
And then you're looking for 6 and above right now.
Okay. 6, 8, 3, 2, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3.
All right, so you guys get 9 in total, so you guys will have the advantage on this combat. Alrighty, so you guys have a dexterity of 9. This fire ant had a dexterity of 0. So you guys will be going first. And then as for your movement is 3 plus your dexterity stats. And then this one has a grid, so we're just going to use that as your typical 5-foot movements. And then because this game does not have a true initiative where like D&D does, you guys will go, and then the ant will go, and you guys just kind of decide amongst yourselves what order you guys are going to do your turn of events in. Alrighty, so Geoffsits, I'm going to go ahead and let you kick this one off because this was your encounter being initiated. So you will kick it off for the group, and then the other 3 can kind of fill in on how they see fit.
Comment to himself under his breath. Damn, He's already had his mind poisoned by capitalism. Pulls the short sword that's like strapped. So instead of like being strapped over the shoulder on his back, it's strapped down below so that he can pull it down and hold it backhand and flip it around.
Okay. Bougie ass.
Yeah, right? I mean, this is fantasy. I got to do something.
Obviously.
And so pulls out the short sword, flips it around, and just goes, I am sorry, comrade, but there's no helping you.
All right, and then tell me what you're going to do, and then tell me your roll.
Yeah. I don't think I have a second weapon to do, but I will. Oh, I haven't passed it over to my sister yet, so I guess I still have the shield on my back. Because I completely forgot to have that seen earlier. But I'll pull the shield off my back as well.
Okay.
Realizing that it's still there. And I will go ahead and... I mean, I guess I'm just going to try and aim for the weak points where the head meets the thorax.
Sure, go ahead.
Try and get a couple of slashes into there to try and end this as quickly as possible.
All right, let's go ahead and roll. And with a short sword, you can be strength or dex, correct?
Correct. And
Okay, and then with your attack, you did remove one strength stat point.
Correct.
Perfect.
It's going to be strength or dex of plus 2d10. So that's going to be 6d10 that I get to roll for whatever.
Yep.
And then...
Magic's given that face like when he rolls to attack, he's not going to be rolling 12d10.
It's funny because I was not the whole train of thought went through my head too. I was like, that's a lot. Oh wait. Oh god. That's... Okay. Like I'm trying to figure out what's normal though. Like how many...
Oh, this one is very, very, especially coming from like D&D to this. This is almost a polar opposite in mechanics.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a strange like switch to flip. Like abandon every mechanic you know in every other TTRPG.
I know D&D they say 6. You're like, oh shit, someone's gonna die. That's one shot.
Okay, so I rolled. That is only 3 successes.
3 successes?
Correct.
Alrighty, so that is going to do 2. And so as you go in slashing through where the head meets the thorax, you manage to cut through as you see fire be kind of shoot out of the wounds you are putting into this giant's body.
Oh shit. I am also going to use skilled action and spend one of my dex points.
Okay.
So skilled actions means dex points can be spent during my turn to trigger trigger an action. It can be in addition to my regular action during my turn, because usually we only get this is where there is overlap between other tabletop RPGs. You usually just get the one action and some movement.
Correct.
So this is going to be an extra action that I get to do, and I get guaranteed 1 success because of the 1 dex point I am using on it.
Okay, awesome.
So I will get to roll the 60-10 again.
Yep. With one of those being an automatic success.
Correct. So that is a total of 4 successes then.
4 successes on that one? Okay.
Yes.
So you go back through with that second strike, hitting those same wound points, causing more fire to go shooting out into this garden. The grass, while wet from the dew this morning, is starting to slightly catch a blaze from the amount of fire that is being shot around. You have done some damage to this fire ant, and you can see its passive physical stance getting a lot more aggressive in nature.
And I will then step back to try and get a little bit of cover under tree here.
Okay.
I know I will take an attack of opportunity.
Correct.
But I do have shield out now, so that is an extra 2, I believe, to my...
An extra 1.
An extra 1.
Yep. But that second attack is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I'll make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yep, so that is going to be 4, which is going to allow you to give a think that's an opportunity attack.
No, because my
Parrying. If your attack success equals a creature's OB exactly, you deal no damage. Instead, the defending creature gains an action of opportunity, parrying the attack.
my OB is only 2 right now.
Your OB is only 2. Okay, so you will take again
Yeah.
1 point from your strength stat.
Okay.
As you're kind of going to flee, the mandible catches you on the ankle, biting down on you.
Yes. So, and tumble roll, tumble roll, and with the roll kind of like come back up onto my feet, sliding around the backside of the trunk, and I will give a little, putting my hand up to my mouth and do a little whistle, and you hear a slight wolf call as Kita responds back.
Ooh, fantastic. So where do they go? Do they just get an attack this turn, or is the summoning its movement or its action phase?
She's been summoned. We've kind of, since she's been in at the, like, she's just been walking around with me.
Okay.
I would have summoned her as we were leaving the town.
Okay.
But we just kind of skipped over that. And so she's, if you want to put a wolf thing in here, she would have stayed back with Karma and Vale.
Okay. And then I will let one of you three decide who would like to go next.
Karma's going to elbow Vale. Do you think we should go save him?
I mean, he's doing a pretty good job by himself.
Says you.
Well, do you want the opportunity? You want to go first?
Thank you. And I guess she's
Vale
gonna
is such a
rush in.
class act.
I love it.
She's gonna rush in with her stone mace.
Okay.
And is its back turned to her?
You would be coming in face to face with it.
Oh, okay. I'm just probably gonna bash it underneath the chin, like
Okay.
try to like uppercut it with my mace.
And then what is your strength score?
6.
And a mace is going to be a light weapon, or is that a heavy weapon?
It's a light weapon.
So I believe that is 2.
That's only 1.
Light is 1. So go ahead and give me a 7d10, and you are looking for 6 and up on your successes.
Oh.
Okay.
Shh.
Oh. 1,
Mm,
2, 3, 4.
rules lawyer here.
What's up?
Technically, she should only be able to use Dex for the light weapon, technically.
Let me open that back up. Correct. Thank you for that check. Light is dex based. So what is your dex score?
Crap.
0.
1.
Oh, okay, you have 1.
All right, so I take that back. Roll 2d10 for me, please, and you are looking for 6 and up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take the first 2 that I rolled, and it's a 7 and a 9.
Okay.
Successes.
Those will succeed. And 1 damage is going to go through as you bring in this mace under the fire ant's chin as it shoots a plume of fire into the air as you hear the cracking of its natural armor take way under that stone hit. Alrighty, Vale, Sir Kermie, who would like to go next?
Would you like to go? All right. I'm just gonna. I don't have much movement, so.
You get 3 plus your dex. So I believe that's just going to be 3 total for you.
Yeah, I was 1, 2, 3. I like that.
Yeah, I would say you're close enough. You're good.
And as they're kind of hidden from the chin up, I'm just gonna go top down.
Love that. Go ahead and roll your 12d10. Looking
Yes.
for 6 and above.
Oh yeah, I'm here, by the way.
Every single dice is a
Forgot.
different color. Uh, 6 and above, right?
6 and above, correct.
That's gone. That's gone. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to hit.
Okay. So 5 of that damage is going to go through. As that's head kind of bounces up from that stone hit, you bring this oversized sword down between its head and its thorax as you see fire and magma kind of spew out in all directions as this weapon does a massive severing of this carcass. But it is still up and fighting. So, Sir Kermie, what would you like to do as you were seeing fire being thrown across this peaceful place?
Yeah,
And reminder, so your movement is going to be 3 plus your dex score, so you are able to move 8 squares to get into position.
We're so fast.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I come up behind it? Like right here?
So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 spaces so far that you have moved.
Okay. Can I just like freeze it? Do I have like a freeze spell? Can I just use like
remind me. Oh, I was supposed to tell you what scrolls
I don't
you
know
had.
I don't know what 5
That is my bad. All right, so you said you get 5 scrolls.
Whoa.
So my question too is, so once I use the scroll, is it just gone completely,
Nope.
or is it reusable?
Nope. So scrolls are reusable. The power of the scroll is going to be determined based off how many die you roll for it.
Okay.
All right, so your first scroll was a 75, so that's going to be a scroll of size. Target creature grows or shrinks by dice meters, lowering all attributes equal to the success amount.
Nice.
Your second is going to be a 52, which is going to be molt. You cause a creature to rapidly molt its skin. While molted, target becomes an ooze for success rounds, and its former husk and equipment remain in whatever pose that you use when you cast scroll.
Damn.
Interesting.
Scroll 3 is going to be an 8, which is break. You invade the mind of a creature who must succeed on a will check or take success psychic damage and become confused for dice rounds. The creature's vision is altered, filled with fearful images.
I want magic so bad.
I know.
So dope.
Chopping off my fingers next time.
28
magic.
is going to be Feyjam, Feyjam. You summon dice tarts filled with delicious magical jam. Fucking Tucker's made it back into another goddamn 4 Geeks by Geeks project.
Nice.
Each heals success, strength, will, or dex, depending on the color, red, blue, or green, chosen at casting. When eaten, make a strength check with a success obstacle or become poisoned. And then your final scroll is going to be a 71, which is Sever. Target creature makes a strength check for success obstacles. If they fail, target loses a limb of your choice.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm using that one.
You would like to use Sever?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna cut its head clean off. This has been enough violence. I feel like the head is a limb, correct? Yeah,
Yeah. And then to clarify here, the amount that your will, you have to, how many will stats do you have? You have what, 4?
4, yes.
Okay, so you got to be careful here because you only get your will stats back when you take a long rest.
That's right.
So as we are beginning this adventure, the more you use magic, the less frequently you're going to be able to use these things until you rest fulfilled. So just keep that in mind. Don't go gung-ho with your spells because the rest of this one shot, you're not going to be able to cast as much. So just be mindful. I don't want to stop you from what you're doing, just something to be considerate of.
No, that makes sense.
But with magic, with this success, you would be simply looking for just 1 success for this spell to succeed.
And I would roll 4 times.
No,
If you were rolling it at max power, with you just rolling it at 1, you would just roll the 1d10, looking for that 6 and above.
No, you get to, with scrolls, you get to roll 1 plus however many points you use because of the latent magic in the scrolls. So
that would technically be 2.
That you are correct, thank you. Scrolls cost at least 1 will point. The number of dice rolled when casting a spell is equal to the amount of will plus 1 die. Thank you for that.
And I just need 1 success.
So you're rolling 2d10, looking for 1 success.
I got 2 6s.
Okay.
Real quick, to clarify the rules on scrolls,
Yeah.
because we just talked about it a ton, and we do have an audience that's listening in and trying to keep up as well. So to clarify the rules, real quick, attacking, you get to use whatever your maximum is, plus whatever amount of die is decided by the weapon you're using. So
Got it.
I had a weapon that had either strength or dex plus 2d10. I usually decide to go with dex, even though my strength and dex are equal, but that would be, since they're both a maximum of 4, I get to roll 60-10. Magic works different than attacks, though. Magic, you need to decide how many points you're using. It's not decided by your maximum point allowance. It's decided by the amount of points out of that maximum that you are deciding to use. And so with you deciding, okay, I just want to use the 1 point so that I can cast it, you automatically get a +1 to that, so you get to roll 2 dice. And you are, unless someone is actively combating you against using the spell or contesting against your ability to cast the spell, you just need that 1 success. Otherwise, it's treated as a contested roll, which we'll probably get into later, but then you're matching the amount of successes you get against the amount of successes they get.
Which is what this was. So you had 2 successes on your magic check, so he needed to make a strength check or lose a limb here, and he failed. So now I get to have some fun, and I get to make Vale and Karma make dex saves.
No.
Damn.
So okay,
Well,
hang on. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, but you're good. Don't feel bad.
Am I able to not use a point? So say for instance,
And you have to use 1 will point when you cast a spell.
One.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Got it.
Did Magic just roll a 10 on his luck die?
No, it's a 9, but I can only roll 1, so it's a success.
Hey, that's a success.
All right.
That's
I
one
mean, I might need
success,
more,
yeah.
but it's the best I could do.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. Sir Kermie, can you tell me what it looks like when you cast this spell, please?
So a giant blade, and at the blade handle is Big Bird's face. And as I jump up and like I swing this like ginormous like blade, it suddenly like you can see the feathers of Big Bird sharpen, and they slice off the head, the remaining what is it, the vertebrae between the neck and the head, and you just hear Big Bird go, "Oh yeah," and it just cuts his head off.
This is like Kingdom Hearts, but instead of Disney, it's
Muppets.
So
And
what
as
happens here?
Yeah, as I lop off his head, I stick my sword in the ground, and it turns back into my little staff.
Yes.
And all I say is, "Yeah." That's it.
But what happens is, as you say that, as we get our anime moment where the steam shoots out of the wound, as the head pops off as a plume of fire shoots out in all directions. But Vale and Karma were expecting something less to take place as they kind of jump out of the way as the head of this fire ant drops to your feet, ink beginning to pour out of its neck. As you hear the front door open, by the gods, what are you doing?
Cater is just going to like try and pull himself in behind the trunk of the tree.
Kader, get out here. You are the one who caused all of this.
Why are you murdering them?
I'm good. I'll stay back here.
Okay.
No
My
Cater here.
stupid ass of a brother decided that he wanted to start a union with your...
We're already unionized!
I don't know if they got that far.
Wait, hang on a second.
Poking his head out from behind the tree. Clearly, Ant was irate from capitalistic overlords, attacked out of anger and stress. Unfortunately, we had to defend ourselves against capitalist poison. Not my fault. Pulls back in behind tree.
What my brother is trying to say. He doesn't speak Ant. And there was some miscommunication. And,
Yes, only speak uncle, unfortunately.
You get
Got a
disadvantage
little
on your
bit
next roll.
He got a little bit heated.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. We're sorry. We will now leave.
So you're gonna kill one of my workers and then just leave?
Okay.
Yes.
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 Yeah, it's time for us to go. We've overstayed our welcome.
Are
I
you
do
really going to
apologize.
ask? Are you really going to ask for payment of person? What kind of price can we put on the worker and labor anyway? This is problem with capitalism is they try to put price on worker, and there is no price. They are priceless.
And Kermie, when you first saw this old lady talking to these ants, she was the sweetest lady you have ever seen. You could tell she makes cookies for everybody every day. She's that ear to turn to if you need a favor. She's always got your back. But that look is now gone from her face. It looks like you just created a BBEG.
Oh no. Okay. So I turned to her, and I explained to her how. Hold on a second. Can I pull the twin brother aside really quick?
Sure.
So, did you attack him first? Who
Absolutely
drew blood
not.
first?
He did. Look.
He did.
Look.
Okay. Okay.
Points
I just
at-
need to clarify. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna turn back to the. I guess she's human, correct?
She is human.
Okay. I'm gonna look to her and explain to her, your fire ant attacked my comrade before we could even get any kind of like response from your fire ant, and since they started fighting, I merely ended the scuffle so that nobody else would be hurt by the fire that he was spewing all over throughout the forest. I was merely saving your cottage and the rest of your workers inside.
The fate of the gods will be exacting their revenge, as she is going to turn on her heels and walk back to her cottage.
I mean, my name is Karma. Thank you.
We need to blow this cottage up. She's got some weird shit going on.
Damn, Andy hit murder hobo already? Are you sure you haven't TTRPG before?
I don't know. I feel like she's gonna come back to haunt us somehow.
Still hiding behind the tree, Cater pokes his head like halfway out. Karma.
What?
Grab ant.
What?
Grab ant. Take it with us.
Why?
Can I use my pipe root to actually burn the corpse? Can I burn the corpse?
wait,
in this,
no,
like,
don't-
no reminder?
So
I want the head.
print
the
lists only come from travelers. So if you guys die, you have to burn that body so it doesn't come back
Thank you.
despite you.
I thought that body could come back. Okay, perfect.
No. We want to
Good.
harvest this. It is already dead. She's not looking. Take body so we can harvest. We need ink.
We
I'm
need
not
the ink.
eating ant, brother.
I see what
No,
you're
we
saying.
need ink.
We don't have a
Yeah.
meal, right? Do we have a
I'm
meal?
gonna
What's
reach down and
happening?
just start dragging it towards the forest.
All right, now I got to double check how getting ink works. Where was that in the book?
I will milk it like a cow.
Phrasing.
Oh boy.
Go on.
It's pretty far down. It's down at like page 33. Harvested, and it is per vitality die. That's how many days it takes. Yeah.
Alrighty, so that was a. So that is a 3d10.
Okay.
Who's
So that
rolling it?
means we get 3d10. Wait, hold on.
Monsters can be harvested for ink, but it takes a number of dice equal to the combined VIT score of the monster and the right equipment. Bigger monsters often have more ink as per the ink for the vitality table. Wise travelers would do well to hunt bigger and more time-effective monsters. They may attract unwanted attention. After all, it's easier to steal someone else's hard-earned hunt than to hunt down their own.
Yeah, so we'll have to bring it back to a safe haven or something to harvest it. But you know, it is start. It is start.
But as you guys are looking down on the head of the ant, you do see that one of its mandibles has broken off as ink begins to swirl around it, and it looks almost like a short sword.
Ooh. All right, sister, that... As we're walking back out into the forest and everything, like, I don't know who picks up the head versus the body, because Vale has the body right now.
I'm dragging it behind me.
Yeah.
Just like with one arm.
We should also get head. All ink counts.
Yes. I'm just gonna lift it up by one of its like antennas. I have brother.
Good. And as we're walking, just okay, sister, that is bad weapon for you. You clearly do not know how to use. And
I
we'll
know
take
how to use it, brother.
No, I
You
do
underestimate my abilities.
No, I think I am very estimated on abilities, correct. Here is sword. You know how to use sword better than little rock.
Is
Yes.
that heavy or light?
Medium.
Medium.
So you at least get to use your strength on it.
Okay.
So there is that. And then also, this is just cumbersome for me. I really do not use it. The shield.
And that's
Just a +1 to your OB.
okay. So I have an OB of 4 now.
Nice.
There you go. And all I ask in return is the little, the bunker that you've been trying to use to little success.
And she hands over the stone base.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then, so what is your guys' plan? Did you want to try to travel with the ant going with you, or did you guys want to set up camp early?
I say we should heal. We should like rest. We used some points, right?
Yeah.
I think we can spend a little bit more time pushing further on. It is still only lunchtime.
If you guys travel with the ant, it will be an additional stat added to the encounter roll table.
I think we should try and push on one more, a little while longer, at least until it is evening.
Okay, so you guys want to adventure on once more?
Sure thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but speaking of the short sword mandible that you,
Yes.
sister, could I see
Right.
Ant Head real quick?
She's gonna like swing it by the antenna and toss it to him. Cash.
Just, I had idea, and like struggling to rotate this massive ant's head in my arms, just reaches in to its mouth and starts wiggling one of the mandibles free until I get like enough to pull it out. I think this would be useful as weapon. I am fine to take it. I would like to take it since I only have small little bunker. But would anyone else make better use?
No.
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 Oh, I don't think I have. Yeah. I'm
All
just
right.
all ranged. Yeah.
This is all mine then. And like tucks the light mace or the light club and the short sword just kind of into his belt until he gets some sort of sheath fashioned for the two of them.
Okay.
I forgot. I also have a book containing 3 random scrolls,
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that real quick
Nice.
and I want to do it before. I forgot about it, and I want to do it before our next encounter.
then. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Sorry. This was something I intended to do, but my brain is my brain. All right. So your first scroll is going to be Death Grip. You summon a giant skeletal hand to grapple a target creature. The hand has advantage on all checks to escape the grapple.
Okay.
Your next one is going to be 1. Accuracy. Attacks against dice creatures have success less obstacles on their armor until next turn.
Nice. Okay.
1 again, so we're going to re-roll that. And then 23, Enlighten. A spray of ink falls over dice target creatures. They gain the poison condition, 5 temporary will points, and learn a random scroll. The poison condition only ends upon the end of the temporary will.
What is the poisoned condition?
It's
Poisoned condition, 1 in 10 chance to take 1d or 1 poison damage per turn.
Ouch.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's right next to our print marks. So
Yep.
there's check marks for us to do it if we get the same.
Ah, there we go.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and travel once more to our next hex. And that 69. Nice.
Ayo.
No, we're not gonna do that one. That's mean. All right. As you guys are making your way into your, what I believe you said was going to be your last area for the night where you will be setting up camp, off in the opening of this little clearing, you see a single individual sitting crisscross applesauce floating above the ground as little rocks begin to dance around him in a random fashion. Yes.
Does my silver chalice tarnish?
It does not tarnish.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Kermie,
Leave Jedi alone.
Yes.
do you do that? Is that normal?
Only on certain days of the week. I feel like this individual may be enlightened right now. Perhaps a conversation, we can learn more information about him or them or whatever this mystical being is.
Would it be impolite to interrupt?
Okay. I cross my legs and I begin floating as well. And I am now like floating towards him as well.
And what scroll is giving you the ability to float?
Okay. My hold on. Hold on, let me cook.
It's just that
Let me cook.
Let me cook. I actually don't have a scroll to make me float, so
So as Kermie sits on the ground, like, I got this.
Yeah, just
Kermie, in your brain, you believe you begin to rise up off the ground. But as the rest of you look on to Kermie, he's just chilling on the floor.
He's just scooting forward. He's got
his
butt firmly planted on the ground, and he's just reaching forward with his hands and pulling.
As I realize I cannot float, I scoot closer to whatever this creature that's floating is, and I ask this creature for its guidance and how I can too float and be one with him.
As you scoot up to him, he pops open one eye. Well, hello! And he begins to do cartwheels around you, and then begins to do cartwheels around the rest of you. You have found me! You have won!
I don't want to win. I will take a loser check on this one. Kermit, what have you awoken?
What did we win?
Gives him like a death glare.
You have won information, but only in exchange. As he is now floating upside down, face to face with you, Karma.
Have you ever heard of personal space?
I have, but really, I like exchange. So how about some information, and I will take the ant.
The entire ant, or just a part of the ant?
Depends. How good of the information would you like as he begins to cartwheel back around in between all of you?
Very good. We give all of ant except for what they take.
Yeah.
So we have a deal.
I think it depends on how good the information you give us is, and we'll decide how much of the ant you deserve.
Alfonso's information is fantastic, but you must shake hands for a deal to be legit.
I don't like touching strangers.
But I'm not a stranger. I am Alfonso. We are no longer strangers. We are now friends.
Karma, keep your hand down. Do not touch.
Yeah, don't
I
trust
have
him.
one friend.
Dead touch.
I have one real friend. He is my brother. And
But now you have two friends. Now you have Alfonso.
Alfonso, I only need one friend, thank you.
Sir Kermie, I think this is your friend to interact with.
He's a little too energetic for me.
I do not match energy well with him.
Okay, so I would like to suggest maybe part of the ant in exchange for information opposed to the whole ant. I feel like we're still using this. We might need it later. I'm willing to give you 3 of its legs.
3 of its legs. That is not great information, but if that is what you would like to deal, then we will wheel.
I'm okay with that because at least it's a little bit more information than we had, and I don't think having its legs is serving us any purpose right now.
Alfonso holds out his hand for the deal.
I'm gonna look back at the rest of my peers and see if they're okay with this exchange. Are you guys
I
okay
don't
with
like-
me?
Okay, I have idea.
Mm-hmm.
We give you 3 legs, get information. If we want more information, we give more of ant.
Okay.
Do
He then
I-
crosses arms to shake hands with both of you.
Why do I have to touch you? This is no. You need to touch.
It is your arrangement, it is your deal. That is how that works.
No. One
Those ghosts?
arrangement.
No.
One arrangement. One handshake.
So no,
does
this is
mean-
2 arrangements. One
No.
handshake for 3 legs, other handshake for more information.
So are you
Just
telling
gonna-
us that we get 1 option per person?
I am
So if I
simply
were to-
establishing deals between my new friends because Alfonso is so excited
don't
to
make
have
you.
new friends.
Alfonso, I'm gonna need you to scrap the whole friend thing out of your head right now because we're not friends quite yet.
Oh, no friends, no deal. And Alfonso falls into the earth and disappears.
Oh no!
All right, Alfonso, it wasn't good information. It's all good. Opportunity
No,
lost.
he was going to tell you your mom was a hoe.
Alfonso
Let's
did not
go.
have our best interest.
No, I
So-
don't like friends that push their friendship. I don't like people that
Cater-
put their
Yeah.
friendship on us.
Cater has been observing this entire ordeal from like 7 feet back, just doing the Slavic squat with his elbows on his knees and just like stink-eyeing this guy. And once he disappears into the ground, he just kind of does the Kermie walk forward. Elbows still on knees as he's just like waddling over, and it's just like looks closer at the ground that he just disappeared into and pokes at it with his foot. Is it solid?
It's just solid ground.
Yeah. Okay. I do not like this person. He
No.
gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I think next encounter we may need to deal with him and tell him to stop following us if he is. 'Cause that's,
I think
am
next
also-
encounter we MYOB.
I am also worried he would be next encounter.
Magic.
All right, are you guys gonna?
realize what I'm trying? Mind your own business.
Oh, gotcha. I was also trying. I was like, I can't keep putting energy into this. I'm not gonna get it.
My brain was going make your own business deals.
All right. Will you guys be continuing on for the evening, or will you be setting up camp?
We have to set up camp, otherwise we take exhaustion.
Point of exhaustion, correct.
Yeah.
I say
Well,
we do.
I'm
I mean-
okay with camping at this point.
All right, so there is 4 of you. So for the ritual, you will need to use 40 ink to be able to set up a safe space for you guys to camp to not be attacked.
Okay,
I
so
think
10
if we
each.
each put up 10.
10?
Mhm,
You guys
yeah.
okay with 10 each?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how much do we
Then we're-
usually start with?
You start with 100.
100. Okay.
And then we're hopefully going to be getting more from this ant, so.
Mm-hmm. We still need to drain it. We need to figure out how to do that.
We need to bring it back to print weavers, I believe.
You guys can ink in the wild.
Wow.
It just takes
You made me
days.
ink.
Correct.
So we need to find new we need to find a safe space where we can spend time inking.
Oh, I made a trench over there, brother.
No, different. No. I mean, yes, use that to ink for now. If you are going to ink off a monster, we need to wait until we are at shrine.
Phrasing.
Sorry, I went and saw Barbie yesterday, and they had an entire argument about how they were going to beach each other off, and that's just like forefront in my mind right now.
All right, so I'm a big fan of Full Metal Alchemist. So when you guys cast this ritual, it's going to be Transmutation Circle-esque in the creation zone. So with that being said, it's not going to be a very large space for you guys to make this encampment in. It's basically going to be enough for each of you to have your own individual tents, a fire in the middle. And more or less, as you guys are in this protection zone, you can see out in the world can see out into you, but you have this ink-imbued protection bubble around you. So as you guys are sitting there for the evening, chatting amongst yourselves and eating, from the earth, you see giant fire ants reveal themselves as they begin to circle around the encampment.
Ghosts of friends pest.
And this lasts for several hours, and eventually the ant army parts ways as the elder lady walks up to your encampment. By the gods or by my own hand, revenge will not be swift, it will not be just. I will remove you from the history books.
That seems excessive for us.
As she
defending
backs
ourselves.
away into the fire ants as they swarm back around her, and then they disappear into the ground.
They must be
seems-
friends with Alfonso.
The ground here
They
is
disappear into the ground.
yes.
There must be lots of underground sinkholes.
Watch your step.
This marsh is like Swiss cheese.
But that is it for you guys are able to sleep until morning. And as dawn breaks, you guys are used to traveling, so you understand at dawn break is when the protection circle fades away. And as you guys open your eyes to look onto the horizon, you see this protection circle dissipate away as the magic is washed away.
A little bit of roleplay or character detail. Cater stays up way too late into the night. Another bit of description that I just I didn't go into when describing him. So he just has like the permanent dark circles under his eyes because he always stays up far too late, just enjoying the night.
Point of exhaustion. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Are you guys just traveling your typical morning?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Does someone else want to take lead today, or should I continue on?
I'm really only good at
The one thing.
one thing: taking and getting damage. So like,
Okay. That does count as some sort of rest, though, doesn't it?
That will be a short rest,
Short rest.
which
You get to roll strength, will, and dex, and
Yes.
recover that many that you get success for. Okay.
and it is your total attribute amount, the amount that you are rolling.
Yes.
Okay, so I still am at 3 out of 4 for will.
No, so you'll roll your 4d10 for your will, and as long as you get 1 success, you get that 1 attribute point back.
Okay.
I got 4 successes on strength, so I'm back up to 4.
Yep,
Even though
you're good. I think Flash is going to be the only person that used an attribute point here. So
Yeah, so I'm back to.
Okay, perfect.
I used the dex to do the skill action.
Okay, perfect.
So I am also back up to 4 dex as well, though.
Okay, who is leading the way today?
Sounds like me again.
And then who is carrying the ant?
Still just dragging it behind me.
Okay, I will say that puts you in kind of the rear of the party then. Right now, it doesn't truly make a difference, but it may in some of these encounters, so just general keeping track of these things.
Sounds good.
But this morning, the party sees some human tracks in the mud. They lead to a nearby clearing where there is some kind of altar made out of stone with writing on it. Go ahead and give me a... Again, the game doesn't have any level of like perception or investigation, so we're going to make this another will check because this is written in a language that you would not necessarily know offhand.
Sir Carmi, have you ever come across this language in your studies? I feel like you might be most well equipped to try and translate for us.
I rolled 3 successes out of 4.
Okay, so you recognize this language. It's not one you're fluent in, but it's kind of like you took 4 years of a high school language, and so you can like pick out words. But so you do pick out demon, destruction, rebirth, and Armageddon are what you can kind of take out. As then you see 2 individuals kind of circling, chanting amongst themselves. You see a wizard and you see some type of holy individual as they are walking around this little impromptu shrine that was created. As you see ink begin to bounce off of the ground as this spell is cast.
What are they saying?
Yeah, what's going on? What are they saying out loud?
So they're just chanting in that language that you recognize, but you're not fluent in. So again, you're picking up some of those keywords, but you can't quite tell what the spell is being cast.
Okay. I need to know exactly what they're saying.
Can you know exactly what they're saying?
Yeah, I need you to tell me.
Yeah, go ahead and give me your will check there.
No, you tell me what they're
saying. And then how many successes?
No, I need to know what they're saying in their language. Tell me.
It's a bunch of Cthulhu-esque gurgles in the throat, and is how it's being translated out.
Okay, good.
That's
what I needed. I
have 3 successes as well. 3 successes.
Yeah, same information I provided to Flash.
Okay, so can we... we like... My question is, are we like underneath, like wherever? Are they circling us? Are they around us?
So you guys are entering into a. So we'll go ahead and use this one, and then throw you guys in here. And this isn't exact. Again, these are impromptu maps that I'm using to kind of justify ideas and layouts.
Okay. Is there a way I can like re-look at the scrolls so I can see what they do? Is it like further down?
I really hope you wrote them down because I don't remember the numbers I rolled for you.
I remember the names.
If you remember the names, I will go back through and I can reread them for you.
Also, can just cast them, fuck around and find out.
That's my life motto, personally.
I mean, I kind of want to use my scroll, the break one. Because it's like, I can like read their minds or something like that.
Okay, you said break is the one you were wanting to cast here?
Yes.
All right, so let's read that for you.
I think that would help us out a lot. Figure out what the heck.
Break. You invade the mind of a creature who must succeed on a will check or take psychic damage and become confused for dice rounds. The creature's vision is altered, filled with fearful images.
Yeah, I would like to do that just to kind of see what's going on. Like, what are they casting? Maybe I can interrupt whatever spell that they're trying to cast.
So how powerful do you want to make this spell?
I'm gonna do a 2.
So you're going to go do a 2. So you'll roll 3d10 and let me know how many successes you get. You are looking for 6 and up.
I got 1 success.
1 success. All right. So are you casting that on the dwarven cleric or the elf wizard?
Definitely the dwarven.
Okay.
Because I imagine the wizard title is a lot stronger.
Oofs. So as you cast this, so what does break look like to you? How does Kermie cast this spell? What does it look like?
He just kind of goes, yeah, and he puts his hand up.
Is this the fucking Eno mind transfer?
Yeah, he does the mind transfer. He shoots himself over there. And from there, he just, he kind of like shoots his mind. He tries to invade.
All right, so Kermie, we all know what Star Wars is. We all know what Force Ghosts are. So as you cast this spell, the rest of you see a Force Ghost Kermie go flying out of his brain hole. And as you are flying towards this dwarven priest's mind, you see him lock eyes with you, and for a split second, he no longer has humanoid eyes. They are black. They are black in color with fire erupting out of them. And as your spirit touches his brain, Kermie's brain, is filled with the worst horrors you can possibly imagine. You see Miss Piggy's stomach erupting with elven tendrils as they're whipping around and destroying everything you love and care around you. The world itself is on fire as your spirit is ripped back into your body.
I'm immediately kill them. We need to kill them immediately. Somebody attack them. They're gonna destroy the world. Armageddon. They need to die.
To clarify, he succeeded on his check, so he beat out your spell.
I figured. Mm-hmm.
But the two of them begin to chant faster as ink begins to bubble quicker off of the ground.
We need to stop this spell. So I don't know how we're gonna start this engagement, but we gotta stop this.
Can I grapple the wizard?
Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh. 1 success.
And initiative is dex.
Dexterity. Yep.
Okay. 1.
No.
No, it's a 9. I rolled a 9, but like I only get to roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I'm-
Amazing.
I rolled a 9.
Oh shit.
That's not
Total
good.
of
The
4
GM
successes.
says, oh shit.
So 4, 5, 6. What'd you get, Kermie?
Oh, do I need to roll 2?
Yes, please.
How many?
Your dex is what, 5?
Uh-huh.
So 5d10.
Okay. Um, 8, 5, 9, 10, 10.
Okay. So they had 5 successes on their end, but you guys are able to go first.
Hell yeah.
So in your guys' order, Brit, it sounded like you had something you wanted to do.
I want to grapple the wizard.
Which
One of my
spell?
scrolls.
Which scroll was that?
Death grip.
Death grip.
Yes. Love that.
Death grip. You summon a giant skeletal hand to grapple a target creature. The hand has advantage on all checks to escape the grapple. So does that just happen? I guess so. Seems weird that there's no roll for that, unless that goes just against the encounter table,
What if,
which I'm gonna make. Go ahead.
if Flash is rolling, isn't he rolling will for his spells?
Yes.
So wouldn't I maybe do the same?
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like there should be some level of exchange here. As the spell reads, it sounds like it just happens, which seems a little broken in my opinion. So we're going to roll for contesting here.
Okay.
So we'll just go Will versus Will here. How many points are you wanting to...
One.
You're just doing the one?
Mm-hmm.
Oof, you're going to be disappointed. They had 3 successes.
Well,
So as the skeletal hand... I'm sorry, go ahead.
That means my will goes down by 1, correct?
Correct, because you did attempt to use it, yep. So as the skeletal hand kind of erupts from the ground, and as it goes to grab at him, he flicks his wrist as you see the skeletal hand turn towards you and give you the finger before it sinks back into the earth. Who would like to go next?
I would like to have Kita, the wolf,
Okay.
in and try and bring down, since it's happening simultaneously, I'll go for the opposite one that Karma was going for.
Okay.
And instead of doing damage, I would like to try and do a grapple check to knock him prone.
Can he do that?
Yeah, it'd be a contested thing, grapple, so it'd be strength.
All right, so grappling. You decide you don't want to kill the inks. Oh, I don't need the example. Contested checks compare the number of successes between 2 separate rolls. If both sides roll an equal number of successes, each side rolls 1d10. Highest result wins. If necessary, keep rolling until one side prevails. All right, so this will be a strength.
Could I use Dex since I'm not trying to push him, or I'm not trying to like grapple him and restrain him? I'm just trying to trip him up.
For the wolf, that is fine, but the dwarf will be using strength as his contested.
Okay. So that is going to be 3.
1, 2, 3. That is going to be 4 successes.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I got 2 successes, so not enough.
So as the wolf kind of goes into the dwarf to try to tackle him to the ground to knock him prone, just using a sweeping hand, he knocks the wolf just enough off trajectory where the wolf kind of skids past and goes around him. Who would like to go next?
I think it's your time, Veil Black. You got to save the day here.
Which one's closest?
Go ahead and position. This is kind of a wide and broadened map, so go ahead and position yourself. I'm not going to sit here and make you skip a turn because
I was going to say, because I think
I can't imagine Vale was going to be one like, let me just sit on the very edge of this perimeter and not get into this magic bullshit that's taking place.
Yeah, so which one is the one that I attacked? Is it to the
right? The dwarf on the left, so the red.
Okay, so I should go this way then. Like here-ish.
So just looking, I have no skilled actions, right?
Let me pull up.
If you have no dexterity, then yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
have
you would
1
get
point in dex.
So you get 4 movement.
Gotcha, but there's nothing else I can pretty much do besides smash things. There's no like...
For those skilled actions, you can spend that 1 dex point that you have to do an extra action on your turn.
That's what I was going to try to do. Could I try to attack it twice?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will...
All right, so go ahead and roll your 12d10 for your first one. You're looking for 6 and up on your successes.
That is a lot. All right.
Sounds like he's rattling change.
I have 1 metal hollow dice, and I don't use it often because I do find it kind of annoying. I'm sorry, but I have.
No, I just think it's funny.
I have to get above a 6.
Yes.
Okay, those are all trash. 6. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. 2 of those being 10.
Okay, so with the 5, the 2 is going to go through. So ink shoots up from the ground trying to protect it, but you still manage to get this heaping sword through, putting a gash into the armor of the dwarf, the dwarven priest itself. but he is still upcast in his spell.
What is its OB?
His OB is 3.
3. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'll
Hold on a
spend my
second.
dex.
How
and go
many
again.
successes did you get?
5.
5.
You got a critical on that then.
No, because I think it says here I have to have a number of
amount of
10s
tens, I'm
equal. That's what
sorry.
I was
Yep,
at.
yeah.
So I need
Yeah.
3
I'm sorry.
at least. Okay.
No, it's okay. That's a good one to double check. I appreciate you. And then you're expending a dexterity point here to attack a second time, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Gone. No, not as good. That is a 4 successes. 4 successes.
Okay. So that one will just do the 1 damage this time. As you bring in with that second attack, again, that ink's still coming in, obstructing enough, making it difficult to kind of get a full hit on this dwarf. But you do manage to chink his armor yet again. All right, Flash, Geoffsits, who would like to go next?
Kermie, do you have anything you're trying to do?
Well, I've used 2 willpower, so I only have 2 left, and this is the beginning of the day, so I'm not totally sure what more I could do. I could expel the rest of my willpower and possibly shrink them. I think that could be helpful. But I don't know if that's... I don't know what direction to go.
If you're still thinking, I can try some stuff.
Yeah.
I am going to... I would like to see if I could try and sneak through the underbrush to get up behind the wizard over here.
Okay. How much
notice me?
movement? Oh, this one doesn't have a grid on it.
I would
What's
have
your
7.
movement? Is 7?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and give me a dex if you're going to try to be sneaky.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and... Do I have to decide before I roll for the added stuff in there?
I would assume not.
Before or after rolling the check, you may
Yeah.
spend any amount. Okay, cool. So I get to roll 4 to begin with. And let's see what I get with the 4 before I add anything in there. Oh, okay. So 3 successes.
Nice.
And I will go ahead and I'll spend a dex point to try and get 1 more.
Okay.
And yeah, got it.
Okay.
So that's 4 successes total.
Yep. You managed to sneak up.
And then, oh, I'm not at 1, I'm at 3. Do I still have an action to attack with? Was that just part of my movement?
I'll say that's movement since you're a skilled hunter. I'm not going to take that as an action.
Then yeah, I would like to, because I've seen them trying to restrain the other ones, or because I saw Karma take the initiative and try and restrain one rather than kill him outright, I am going to also try and I'd like to try and pin this dude to the ground if I can.
Okay.
I want to try and wrestle, or you know what? I want to see if I can like come up behind him and get the short sword to his throat.
Sure. So we're going to do another contested grapple here.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, I mean, would you say it's strength to try and subdue him, or dex still, since I'm trying to sneak up and put a...
Since you're trying to sneak up, I'm going to say dex.
Okay, then I'll use...
And you're looking to beat 3 here.
Okay. Ooh. Alright, that's 2 successes. I'm gonna go ahead and use another dex point to try and get that success still.
So then if you tie here, then we're going to have to do a competing D10 roll to see who would succeed.
Alright, I don't want to use another... I'm gonna leave it up to chance then.
Okay.
Because I got that 3rd success, so we're tied.
Yep, so now we're going to each roll a D10 to see which high roll.
I got
7.
a 6.
Oh, shit!
Okay.
Oh boy.
Alright.
All right, so that leaves you, Kermie. You have a weapon still, correct?
Yeah, so I have
I would say you had a short bow. Yeah, you can always do that. You don't have to cast magic.
Yeah. So is there a way I can assist you after not being able to successfully pin him down. I feel like I'm closer to the other one, but maybe I can subdue.
Well, you can still move before you attack.
Oh, can I? Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be move, attack, or attack them. You can do it in whatever order you see fit.
Okay, so there are already 3 of us on this guy on the left, right? So I want to move to assist you on the right. So I'm gonna move.
I'm an idiot. Sorry, just the reason I was trying to sneak up was I was trying to see if I could get advantage on the grapple check or the attack that I was going to be doing, and I didn't even bother to look or keep track of like the 6s that or the 5s that I got versus the 6s.
I want to be in like
that's
this
on me.
bush.
Oh well.
Can I stealthily use my like ring of secret to sneak this way and try and shoot this guy with my short crossbow to not kill, but to
try and hamstring him, shoot him in the
leg. To like make him, like maim him of sorts.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me a dex here to see if you can sneak up on him.
Okay, and that's 5 d10, correct? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. I got a 1, a 4, a 5, a 9, and a 7.
So that's only 2 successes.
Does he still get the advantage because he's using his...
oh, yeah, you would have advantage. So you're looking for 5 ups there.
Okay.
I already forgot the
That'd be
numbers.
3.
So 3, 6... Yep, so you're able to quietly sneak up on him.
Perfect. Okay. And for shooting the crossbow...
I'm trying to double check what the bow does. I can't remember if it's a light or a medium.
Okay.
I think it's light. But it doesn't blatantly say, which is confusing.
Where is it part of the...
Page 8.
Page 8. Well, it would say... what gift
Ranged
is it?
weapons have a shooting range.
Yeah, is it...
Yeah, it just says ranged as light, close, medium. Oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. So you're going to be close here, so that is going to be dexterity plus a d10.
Okay, so that's 5 again.
Yes. And then you're looking for... I'll give you advantage on this attack since you were able to sneak up, so you're looking for 5 ups on this attack. And then 3 is your success rate to tie your obscurity rating. So 4 to succeed.
I got 2 5s.
Okay.
3 5s.
3
2
5s.
And a 9.
So that's 4 successes. So yeah, that is only going to do 1 damage to him. But you do. Where do you fire the arrow into?
Oh, he's getting kneecapped, bro. 100% kneecapping. I need you to fall over.
So yeah, that arrow pierces through the side of the knee. But blood doesn't shoot out of him. Ink shoots out of him.
Right.
Okay. They're creatures, monsters, beasts. They bleed ink, not blood.
So we gotta kill these things.
Kill
I gotta
them,
go.
harvest their blood ink.
Okay.
All right, so it is now their turn. And... let's do it this way. Let's have some fun with this. Flash, what is your index finger in terms of your left index? What is your print?
Left index. Hang on a second. I had it written down. I don't have that sheet. Hold on.
You can't just look at your finger, bud.
To be fair, I don't think I'd be able to tell you right now by looking at it either.
That's fair.
The lights are not conducive to being able to read fingerprints in the apartment right now. I would be so washed out if I had it bright enough for that.
That's fair.
Left.
Left index.
And that's pointer finger, correct?
Yes.
It says A. So what does that mean?
So that's going to be an arch.
Okay, cool. Sorry. I just didn't remember. I put A, W, and...
Okay. Very interesting. Which makes... Who is on the dwarf? That's you, Magic.
Please don't kill me.
So appearing out of nowhere, a frost-covered trident comes up from the ground as the dwarf is going to try to stab it into your chest.
Yo.
Swiper, no swipey.
That is 10, 10, 10. Jesus Christ. That's 3 criticals and 2 successes.
Damn, you're dead.
OB is 4.
OB is 4. So that is going to be 2 points off of your strength then.
That's not bad. You're still alive. That's good.
Your strength is still better than mine.
So it does mean when I roll to attack, I use the current points or my max points?
It's still your max points, but
Okay.
you will have now less skill attributes available as your as a resource.
Gotcha.
And then our elf boy here. Okay, that'll be fun. Kermie. Rocks begin to float up from the ground as they all get shot in your direction.
Mhm.
What is your OB?
2.
3 of them are going to pelt you in the chest, but only one of them is going to do damage. So it's going to take 1 skill point off of your strength score.
Oh, it was at 1, so.
Okay, so you're now now if you get hit again, now it's going to start chipping away at your vitality since you do not have a strength stat available.
Got it.
But he is currently taking an arrow to the knee, so he can't move. So we'll be back to your guys' turn on the combat.
Nice.
Dope. I'm glad we made. I feel like that was the stronger one, so I went for him.
All right. Again, you guys get to decide the order you want to go in, so it's up to you guys to see what way this plays out.
Anyone want to take the jump?
I'll do a smack.
Nice.
Okay. So roll your 12d10.
Sorry, I may have just missed it. What was the wizard that Kirby and I are facing off with? What did he do?
Basically cast magic missile.
Okay. Oh,
That is 1, 2, 3. 8 successes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so that one is going to do 5 damage. Yeah, you fuck him up pretty good. He's still standing, but he's not looking great.
I get an attack of opportunity on the mage.
Poor K.
Because if they do anything other than a melee combat while engaged, the other engaged foe gets an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's handle that here real quick.
Yeah. And since I have both weapons drawn, I get 2 attacks by default for an attack action. It's just all at disadvantage.
Did you take damage at all last turn?
No, I did not.
Okay. Just want to double check because if you do take damage, you lose
Yeah.
the ability of attack of opportunities.
Yep. During the same turn, so it wouldn't have to be during my turn. It's just if his attack did any damage to me, then it wouldn't have to. I wouldn't.
Oh, I know. I just in that last round is all it is.
That's. There we go. So, first attack is going to be with the short sword is a 4 total,
Okay.
and then second attack.
And you are taking these at. Are you using stats or are you attacking with 2 weapons, taking the disadvantage on them?
Attacking with 2 weapons, taking disadvantage.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep. So that I got 2 8s and 2 9s, and then a 1 and a 2.
Okay. So just the 1 hits then.
Yeah. So 4.
Okay.
Oh, no. So that was the first attack, and then.
Oh,
second
gotcha.
attack-
Sorry. Yep.
First attack is 4 damage, or 4 successes.
Yep.
Second attack is 5d10, and that's going to be. Damn, that's No successes at all.
Okay, so yeah, he is going to take 1 damage there as you're going through with that mandible. His distraction with Kirby coming up on him as well. You're able to bring that sword across his back, breaking through the ink that is protecting him.
Hell yes.
It is hotter than hell in this room. I am a sweaty, gross mess. Jesus Christ. All
I'm
right.
in the basement. I'm
So
in my lair.
we
It's
get-
hot. It's cold in here.
An attack of opportunity if we're engaged with someone and they don't do a melee action.
Against you, correct.
Okay.
But yeah, so you did your turn. Did you want to move? Or did you want to stay where you were?
Hit me. Try your best. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Brit or Geoffsits, who would like to go next? Also, Brit, do you want to put yourself in position somewhere?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Roll20 just destroys my cameras and everything. That's why I haven't.
I can control it if you would prefer, if that makes it easier for you, since you can
Oh, yeah,
watch the
just-
stream.
Yeah, you can move it towards the red dude.
Okay. That seem fitting, or are you going in for combat?
Probably
do
going in for
smash.
combat.
Okay.
Probably go smash too.
We fist
Going
bump.
to Smash. Fist bump, smash.
All right, I do want to clarify here. We are at our sub 30-minute mark for the estimated time of play.
Oh, jeez.
Brit, go ahead.
Okay. I guess I'm just going to take my sword and kind of just go right for his gut.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that attack. Or you're attacking with the heavy weapon that Geoffsits gave you?
Yes.
All right, so you will
Medium weapon.
now be rolling medium weapon. And
Yeah.
with your strength is 6.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll 8d10, and you are looking for 6 and up on your successes.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got 6 successes.
Nice. Any 10s on there?
Yes, 110.
Only 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Only 1, but 1 is better than none.
I mean, hell, if his OB
Sorry, how
is
many
only
successes
1.
was that?
6 and 1 crit.
Oh,
think-
nice.
I
So
think
he's
its
going
OB
to
was
take
3.
3 damage. He is on death's door.
Nice.
Knock,
Uh,
knock,
did-
bitch.
Did you want to expend like a dexterity point here to try to attack again to get him dead?
I forget what my dex is. No, because I only have 1 dex, so
Okay.
no.
Is the pool of ink bubbling still bubbling?
Yes.
Oh, it's unsettling.
All right.
All right, Geoffsits, and then
Yes,
we'll
I'll
finish up
take
with
my
Flash
turn.
on this encounter.
I will take up my turn. Well, we still have Wolf.
Oh, you
Wolf
do
is
still
on-
have Wolf.
Yes, Wolf is on Dwarf, I believe.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Or no, which one was the one that...
He went at the dwarf.
Okay, so
Yep.
I will do Wolf attack first.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the same thing, try and knock him prone again with the Wolf.
Okay.
So that's going to be...
So we're going to do another contest here.
Yep. 1 success, but I'm going to go ahead and roll another 1.
That is a crit and 2 successes. So that's going to be 3 successes on the dwarf's
Damn.
part.
So yeah, that's gonna. I used 1 dex point to try and get another success, but it was nothing. So,
Okay. So as the wolf kind of comes from the back, the dwarf feels him coming, and as he's jumping over, he takes him by the stomach and kind of like hurls him
yeah.
away.
All right.
Yeet.
So with my turn, I will do the same thing again with the attacks.
Okay.
And I'm going to use strength so that I can use up some of those strength points as well.
Sure.
For extra rolls, just in case. So that is going to be with the...
Oh shit! I lied to you, Brit. You can use strength to reroll your attacks. That's my bad.
so that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the short sword. 1, 2, 3, and I'll use that is 3 successes, I will use one more strength to roll, and that is a 10. So that is 4 successes.
Yep. So that'll be 1 damage.
Down to 3 on that. And then I have to use Dex on the light mace, so that is only going to be...
Yep. And then could clarify again, you are looking for 5 up here because you are attacking with disadvantage on these.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
So, 7, looking for 7.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, 7.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yes, not counting 6s. So that is going to be 1, 2... that is going to be 3 successes.
Okay, so that is going to meet, so he will get an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay. He does not get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, you're right, because he just took damage, because no, he does not. Okay. So that'll be it for you. Flash, what you doing?
So...
You got the dwarf who is on the brink of death, and then the elf who is a little bloodied, but he's still upright.
I feel like they've got the dwarf. We need to focus on this elf a little bit more, and that's who you're working on, right, Jeff? So...
Yes.
For the wolf over here, yes.
Okay.
The wizard that I am attacking as Cater is on the opposite side.
Okay. So can I shoot him in his other kney? So
yeah, if that's what you'd like to
have
do.
him just on both of his knees right now. Like I don't want him standing.
Hey, subscribe to our OnlyFans. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that attack. So that is going to be ranged was light. So go ahead and give me that 6d10 roll, and you were looking for 6 and up.
Okay. And that's six times rolling.
Yep, 6d10,
Okay.
6 times rolling, looking for 6 and up.
Okay, so I got 1, 8, 8, 9, 7.
So 4.
4, yeah, that's 4.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to get that arrow into his other knee. It doesn't do much damage to him, but yeah, he's pretty locked in place there.
Cool. So he can't move. So now I feel like when you try and pin him down, it should actually work. Like this helps.
When you grapple him?
Yeah. I feel like we can question him or something. I don't know.
Alrighty, but it is now their turn. Alright, Flash, I am going to need a strength, or a dex save from you.
Okay.
And you are looking to beat 3.
And that's just one roll?
Yes. Or you're looking for 3 successes.
Okay.
So roll whatever amount of...
Yep, so your dexterity die here. You're
Alright.
going to roll your 5d10. You're looking to beat 3.
Okay, so I got 3, 8, 6, 2, 6. So that's 4
8.
successes.
Yep.
Okay.
So Sir Kermit kind of looks up as you see a giant earth spike directly above you, and as it begins to fall down, you just jump backwards as there's now a spike directly in the ground in front of you for you to stand upon for, I don't know, comedic effect. I have a high ground, whatever joke you want to use here.
Was that the dude attacking, or the dude in front of me casting a spell?
Yep.
Cool. So that means attack of opportunity for me?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Then I am going to do same thing again. Strength for the first attack. Let's do 6. 8. Wow. Okay. I'm glad my luck with dice carries over to here as well. Because that is 1 success.
A 1 success? Yep.
Yeah.
Not going to do it.
Didn't think so. And then for the...
Ink's going to shoot up and smack your hand away as you try to slice in.
Yeah, and now the mace... Well, he is prone right now, right?
I don't think that affects his OB.
Checks against you have advantage. I think that would have made it a 2 for that one.
It still wouldn't puncture him.
Yeah,
But good, thank you for checking me on that one.
Yes. And so second attack is just a 5d10 and all dex. So that is going to be...
And so that's going to cancel out the disadvantage and the advantage, so you're just looking for 6 ups.
Yep, so that's 1 still.
Okay, yep, so as you're going to slice through this attack, the ink is just kind of protecting him from behind, completely not concerned about you.
Okay.
Brit, what's your OB?
4.
All right, you are going to possibly take a trident to the chest. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that meets, so you will get an attack of opportunity here.
All right. And this is against the red dude, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to slice his head off.
Okay, go ahead and roll that attack for me.
All right, that is 6 plus 2, so 8, right?
Yes. Yes.
8 successes and 2 being crits.
Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Go ahead and finish him.
All right. So I need roll again, correct?
You can. You don't need to.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
Oh no, just finish him. Like, tell me how you wanna brutalize his corpse.
How do you
So
have to do
basically-
this?
So basically, as he's being entertained by Vale, I'm going to come up behind him and, like, through the back of the neck and just cut his head off.
Vale, go ahead and give me a dex save here. You're not going to take damage, but you might get covered in ink.
That's a 1.
So yeah, with that one, you see a knife go through this dwarf's neck, and then you see it slice sideways as the head goes flying off, just drenching you in ink.
A little warning, please.
Yes.
I thought you would lick it up like cat.
I not a habit of mine.
All right, so we are back to the player turn economy here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Karma's gonna stick her finger in the ink and walk up to Vale, Simba, and walk away.
I feel much revitalized.
Don't say I never gave you any.
I wouldn't dream of it.
All right, so you guys are down to one elf with 2 arrows in both knees. The spell that was being cast on is actively still going.
Okay, got it. So I'm gonna use my my remaining 2 willpower, and I'm gonna try and use the scroll of break again.
Okay.
I want to try and like calm this guy down somehow to stop him from attacking us, so that we can just kill him easily or something. I don't know.
All right, so break. You invade the mind of a creature who must succeed on a will check or take success psychic damage and become confused for dice rounds. The creature's vision is altered, filled with fearful images. So you said you're doing 2 will points on this?
My remaining 2. Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 3d10, looking for 6 up on your successes.
Okay, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Ooh,
No.
he had 1.
Okay. I had 2 7s and a 1, so I was like, no.
All right, so he is going to take 1 psychic damage. He is now confused. Tell me, what fearful images do you implant into his mind? Tell me what that looks like.
So the first thing he sees is the count. The count appears. And he begins counting how many of his comrades will die if he continues to give us all of this smoke.
One.
So he goes, 1 comrade, 2 comrade, 3 comrades,
Don't forget the laugh.
4 comrades.
1 comrade.
And then when he gets to the 5th one, that's when he laughs. He goes, 5 comrades,
Yeah.
All right, so he is now confused, which makes his will checks are made with disadvantage.
Nice.
Dope. So now I feel like
And then that was...
you can finish.
So he is confused for 3 turns.
That's nice.
He's prone. He's confused. If I can't finish him, I might just.
I'm just handing
I
him
don't
to you.
All right, so yeah, Geoffsits, sounds like you would be next here.
I'm gonna try to be. So I'll do the 2 attacks still. Like, but what I'm basically gonna be trying to do is like jumping up and coming down with both weapons as hard as I can.
Let's see how that goes for you.
Right. Good lord. 0. Even
Jesus.
Yeah, I just rolled 5, 5, 3, 3, 2.
The spell at this point is just to a point where it's protecting its caster. As you go down to slam down that attack, this bubble of ink just shoots over this elf's body, protecting him from your slaughter.
Yeah, 2 on the second attack.
Damn, yeah, nothing. Elf is protected.
Yeah, I'll use another dex point to do another attack and try and get
Okay.
something with this.
Jeez.
2, 4, 6. Right? Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. That is 6 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so as all the ink kind of rushed to above him, but as you kind of land, you're able to get a quick slash in across his back, dealing 3 damage to him.
Okay. And then second attack.
The wolf is going to have to travel some way to get to you, just a heads up.
I figured. Second attack is going to be 3.
That meets.
So I will use my last dex point to try and get that to pass.
Okay.
Damn, nope, that is a 1.
Okay. So if that's the case then, but he already took damage, so he doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
All right.
Then the wolf would probably take its full turn to get over to you.
Yep.
So Kermie, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't have any more magic I can cast, so remind me, if I wanted to use like dexterity, like how would that constitute?
So you would just fire another arrow at him if you wanted to attack him.
Okay, perfect. Can I like light the arrow on fire? Can I?
I mean, you have the ability to cast fire, or you can light things on fire with complete success based off your item. So yeah, if you want to light an arrow on fire,
can I light it on fire?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's going to take up your movement to do that, but yeah, I'll let you light an arrow on fire. And
okay, sweet. Yeah, I want to try and shoot him in the arm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. You are looking for, so it's going to be 5d10, and then you're looking for 6 up on your attacks.
I only got 2 successes.
Okay, so yeah, you light the arrow on fire, and it's going to shoot by, the ink grabbing it and just throwing it up into the sky.
Damn, the OP on these guys is ridiculous.
This guy's OP. Yeah, this guy's really strong. I used all my magic against him.
Vale, I believe you were the only person who's not got to go yet. Unfortunately, he's going to be a bit a ways from you, so it would take your full action, movement, and action phase to get over to him.
I will go ahead and do that then.
Okay. All right, and that is going to leave him on his turn, as he is going to sit there, looking worse for wear, as he's going to look just at you, Kermie, because you're kind of the one in eye shot. It's too late for you. As the ink is going to suck into his body and then explode out into a massive rage. None of you are going to take damage, but you see the ink on the ground begin to pool into one concise location in between them as a liquid door begins to flow and kind of appear on the ground in front of you, looking like a cellar door, as this elf's eyes roll into the back of his head and he collapses forward.
Damn.
So he died.
He is dead.
Oh no.
But there is now a ink door, but in the middle of this little ritual spell area.
Like a door you could go through type
Yep,
of door?
into the ground, correct.
I wanna poke around at this dude, see if there's like whatever he was casting spells with on him, or if there was like, if the armor that he had around him was physical, even if it was magical. I want to try and poke around and see if we can get anything off this guy still.
So yeah, as you kind of poke around, he is much like you. He's got a cloak of ink that is going to be what is protecting him. And as you're kind of moving it around, as you pull back like the sleeves, you see tattooed on his body is this language written all over him. Every hidden part of his body has some sort of ink-filled text that has been imprinted all over him.
Damn, this dude's Scar of the Ishvala. Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna try and throw this cloak on as I put mine in my pack, because mine only helps if it's against my dexterity.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I would like to try and take the cloak that this dude was wearing and put it on.
Sure.
And put the one that I was wearing in my pack.
Okay. That will take a slot, and you now have a bloodied and ink-imbued cloak on.
Cool. What kind of stats are we looking at for that?
It's got an OB3.
Nice.
Has anyone ever gone into ink doors?
Maybe in one of our last lives. Do you remember, brother?
Most ink doors we go into usually lead to us dying. So I say full steam ahead. I mean, we have wizard with us now who can light us on fire if we die. So, Karmi, as long as you stay alive to kill us, dead if we die, that'd be good.
So am I hanging back, or what am I doing here?
Oh no, we all stay together.
Okay.
But you don't, if we see monster down there, don't run up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay in the back then. I'm gonna stay behind you guys.
Perfect.
You should be in the sandwich. Between
Oh,
the
okay.
sticks.
Yeah. Put me in between you guys. I like that. I feel
Yeah,
safe.
I can-
Army sandwich. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
sister-
Don't eat me, please.
Oh no, I won't eat you until you die.
Sister, if you want to take lead on this one, just in case there is big monster at bottom of stairs, I can cover rear so that I am
Okay.
not far away from danger, just being in the back so that Karmi is safe in case someone sneaks up on us.
Okay.
Yeah, that is idea.
Okay. Are we bringing the ant, or are we leaving it behind? I feel
mean,
like we can get the much bigger catch down here in the door.
Yeah, Vale, you don't feel like you have to drag Ant behind us. Maybe leave him on top of dead guys there, and if we come back up, maybe we'll grab both.
We have
Yeah.
Pile we can bring with us.
Right, yeah, exactly. Pile.
Do we want to go down here though? Like I'm out of willpower. I have no more magic. I feel like if anything, maybe we could like drain the ink that we have here, and then go after resting.
Bodies. They have 3 bodies.
It's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, but that is only
the
like, that
bodies
will
hit the
take
floor.
time. And we need to...
I mean, yeah, but we have those ants, those fire ants probably on our trail, and then we also just made an enemy with what's his name, Alfonso? Was that his name?
It's not enemy.
Alfonso is your friend. What are you talking about?
I
not
just told him.
enemy.
I just told him we weren't friends. I don't know how Alfonso's feeling.
Maybe we go. Okay, maybe we try and find a place to set up. Maybe
All
we
I
try
have
to
is
find
a short bow.
shrine.
Yeah. Shrine? Okay.
Maybe we
All
try
right, but
to
now
find-
we do get to have the fun conversation of, does this one shot turn into a two shot on another unspecified date and time?
It sounds like it.
Okay.
I'm
Giving
okay
you the
with
real
that.
TTRPG experience.
Yeah.
How did everyone feel? Whether you've like we said, when we talk about character creation, whether you have a list of characters under your belt, or it's the first time you built a character. So like Flash, this is your first time building a character. How did you feel like the process was? Was it confusing? You're like, okay, I have an idea in my head. What were,
I would say, like when I first looked at it, I was a bit overwhelmed. I will say like the the PDF that you guys sent, it was like, well over, 80 some odd pages or something like that. So from a newcomer's perspective, and not really knowing what to come into, I felt like it was a lot of information all at once. But I do feel like the way that you guys navigated it made it a lot easier for me to kind of become acclimated to it really quickly. And I feel like the rest of it was just kind of like, yes, let's, and just kind of being open-minded to just, having fun and just kind of like not taking it very seriously. As far as like character creation with that, I kind of just picked a direction and I just went with it. And not feeling judged in that sense was like very helpful in doing that. So it was a lot easier to be able to be like, oh, this is like something I wanted to do. I thought it'd be like funny, silly, and kind of like comedic relief, and everybody just agreed to it. So it was really nice.
I got into Printweaver because of the character creation idea. I think it's got its pros and cons, especially after it's already been expressed in this game, that technically speaking, the one character you get is your one character in Printweaver. Outside of you burning off your fingerprints to go rob a bank and not leave behind any evidence, unless you have those obscurity marks, you're going and your fingerprints don't change. So you're going to be playing that same character every time. So technically that is a drawback, but obviously kind of consenting with the table, maybe you mix up fingerprints to kind of change up your character creation and give it some variety. But with that being said, I love the idea that this character is so original to you. It does kind of limit what you can do in a game versus something like D&D, where even somebody like a cleric, for example, who is going to be a bit of more of a heavy hitter, a bit of a tanker, they still have magic to kind of fall back on. Hell, even with, you can go by barbarian and dip into a level of sorcerer if you still want to play some level of magic into a melee combat based character. That being said, I love the idea of just this character being so original to you, and it's kind of what drew me into Printweaver, with this being just, this is your character. Obviously, the statistical likelihood that you have that combination of printing with somebody else does still exist, that this character is just a living embodiment of you as compared to any other TTRPG where you're creating something from scratch. So I like the fact that it's a simplified version for making your first character, but it's a matter of, you're going to have to workshop and change some rules to get some diversity in your character creation for future playthroughs if you want to play a different campaign or various one-shots.
And speaking on that, like, the character creation is great, and I feel like, it is tailored towards us, but it also concerned me a little bit about replayability. Like, how any other TTRPGs, you can play whatever class, whatever thing you would like. So if you get bored of, playing a bard, you can play a cleric, or you can play magic, you can play tank, you can play this. With going in, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a tank, which a tank is not something I usually don't go for when it comes to building a character. I'm more magic heavy. So being able to play a tank character scared me a little bit. And especially with that being the only option, that's what scared me about my replayability, because it's like, that's not normally what I gravitate to. So
I do agree. Like, we talked about it a little bit before of like being able to change the rules a little bit, and even the rules are laid out in such a way where it's made to seem that these prints belong to your character, which yes could be translated as you because they are your prints that you're using, but like there's no issue mechanically or balance wise in deciding actually I want to play a character that just has a ton of arches and a little bit of strength and no dex at all. Like for me, rather, being someone who is so heavily based in dex and strength, what if I decided, yeah, I want one in dex, one in strength, and a bunch in willpower now? There's no mechanical reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. It doesn't break the balance of the game to decide what your character's prints are within this world for a change.
And like any other TTRPG, it does say this is a guideline. You do not have to play exactly. These are the rules we implemented. Use what you want. Don't use what you don't like.
And I think one of the bigger issues I have with the game, because the character creation, I like, as y'all saw and heard with me talking about in our Discord leading up to the game, and saw with the character sheet that I made by hand, like I got really into the lore of this world because of the character creation. I'm like, this is fun. Like I immediately got sucked into the idea of what this world is about. But I feel like it can be very difficult to on the DM side, you need to be able to do a lot more flavor text for this game to really shine. Like there's not predetermined worlds or anything. Use tongue. There's not predetermined worlds. Sorry, I thought that was an inside joke at this point.
It is.
Okay, cool.
You were speaking and I didn't want to interrupt you.
I'll interrupt myself, damn it. But I feel like with games like Dungeons and Dragons, or with games that have established universes, it's very easy to just like draw upon that resource or those inspirations and just have a world already that people are somewhat familiar with to an extent. Whereas this, you don't have that to fall back on. So everything has to be on the DM to be like, which can be very hard for a one-shot. Like as T said, you have to put a lot of work into creating a world, and your characters, your players will very rarely see that.
Which, on a plus note, though, once you get to the safe haven point, I was already going to break the rules, because technically when you make those safe havens, they're based off the GM's prints. That's not fun. What I enjoy so much about being on this side is I like laying out the groundwork, and I just let my players run wild. Like, what you say will come to fruition, whether that be good or bad. I want the players to recognize that they have an impact on this world. What they say counts. And so like the big thing I'm excited for is like the end game portion of this, where you get to actually create that safe haven, where we actually can like call upon you guys to make those combination of prints to determine this safe haven being built up from the ground, what it looks like, where it's located, how it's being protected. But yeah, that is a massive drawback, because I've been running games for 5 years now, and even with that much experience under my belt, making sure I had everything necessary to constantly be building from scratch on the fly like this, it's not a burden like, this sucks to do, but it adds so much that you have to do and come up with on the fly. It kind of takes the immersion from the GM side of it out of it to a degree, because you have to constantly be thinking that far ahead, and you can't truly live in the moment that the players are getting to.
With this game though, like we were comparing it to Dungeons and Dragons earlier, in that they're both war games, and the place that this game does shine through in that is that you get to, like, with D&D, there's a lot of other stuff before you even get to the fighting and the combat. And you don't have a ton of exploration in Dungeons and Dragons unless that is specifically the world that you are creating for it. Like, unless that is the specific adventure or campaign you're trying to run.
Which is difficult for players. That's not a common one.
I love survival and exploration campaigns in Dungeons and Dragons. So this game does that, or like streamlines that a lot. Doesn't mean that it's great for anything else, but it does streamline that exploration and combat. And so if that's all you're looking for, fuck it. Run into it. Go for it.
What's the D&D adventure based on exploration? I can't remember. It's the first the module I tried running, and it made me hate exploration in any TTRPG. This is the first exploration game I've ran since whatever that module is for D&D, because I hated it so goddamn much.
And exploration TTRPGs take a particular, like, being a DM takes a particular kind of mind anyway, but running a survival adventure in particular takes such a specific kind of mindset and brain to like organize everything and keep track of all the things that make survival fun, and takes, as T said, takes a particular kind of player, because most people don't think keeping track of the food and drink that you need for the week is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, Magic, you said you've been DMing for a year and a half now?
Yeah.
So are you strictly D&D, or do you play with other TTRPGs?
I've dabbled. I've done one other one.
Oh, so I'm curious, from somebody that's relatively new in the DMing world, how do you feel about this? Because in my opinion, this is pretty vastly different than a lot of TTRPGs that a lot of people are going to easily and commonly step into. What's your opinion from a freshly minted DM that's kind of exploring this space and learning it still?
Yeah, I mean, I think that so far the magic system's really cool. I really love how they did ink. And one thing that I noticed like throughout the session was because of the use of the scrolls and the magic, you were able to really give and breathe life into combat that D&D doesn't often have, because you fight a goblin, you're just like bonking each other with sticks half the time.
Or eldritch blasting.
Yeah. Until you get to those higher levels. So like right out the gate, there's already this extreme variety that made it feel really cool. I think my biggest issue so far, kind of leaning into what Roland was talking about, it is character generation and creation. I think that they could learn a lot from like video games, like from Elden Ring. I think it'd be really cool to have an option to have different classes with different prints already on them, and then that last option being like use your own. And then I like taking that even a step further. And maybe I missed it, but like I love to see a progression system of, okay, well now you gain strength, will, and then even if you start off using your own prints, but you're like, I don't really want to do strength build, maybe there's a way to go to a print weaver who's able to modify and change things, and you're able to kind of move stats from place, really give like a customization to the player. I feel like there's a lot of customization in the world, but the player aspect feels a little tight, and replayability is definitely like, without that, I don't think that you have that. And it could do a lot more justice there, I think.
I feel like it exists in like the world Fate does, where Fate's got good mechanics, but Fate's kind of believed to be a sub mechanic in other TTRPGs. I think Print Weaver is going to kind of fall in that realm. It's like there's a lot to do with this, but there's still the ability to build onto it. So I think you take out the things that you want, and like you said, add in the like. I love the idea of Print Weavers being able to modify you to change that around. That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
The moment you said that, I was like, this son of a bitch, that's so goddamn good.
Yeah, like you have the ink in the world that, like, why not use that? Why not give that more value by like, okay, yes, you can use it to like create these safe havens, these shrines, stuff like that. But why not make it more personal to the players as well? And like, okay, I can donate this to the closest like warden group or whatever that goes out and creates these safe spots. But what if I want to use it to make myself better?
Because I know you can use ink as a it is the currency.
Mhm.
So I know that you can
Currency,
buy-
life force, magic. It's
yeah. So I know you can use it to do that stuff, and I feel like it should be more than just weapons or
Yeah.
things that like exchange. I feel like maybe, you know, like I had a lot of tank aspects. So like I was very like my armor was heavy, like, and then when my my armor was heavy, but I had a stone mace. So for someone who's supposed to be very tanky, coming in there with a stone mace just kind of seemed like
Yeah.
if it makes you
like
feel
I'm being
better.
a pea shooter to a nuclear war.
I was
and, like-
heavy armor and I had a boomerang.
It was just like, oh, I'm gonna like I can take it, but I can't serve it, and it just felt like, ugh. Like I just felt defeated in that way, in that mind. So I know that I could have gone in and bought different weapons, but to be able to start off with them, especially because something like a one shot, you know, if Geoffsits didn't give me the sword
Mhm.
and the shield, I wouldn't have had as high of stats as I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was still been wheeling in there with the stone mace. So I feel, you know, for something like a one shot, maybe this isn't, and we've kind of proven that by like, we played for 3 hours and we didn't get to even build anything. So I feel like this might not be a one shot unless you're ready to dedicate.
I think it'd be like a 12-hour day type
Yeah.
one shot.
It would have to be. It would
This
have to be.
is. Sorry, go ahead, Brit.
Oh no, I just said it would have to be a long haul type of one shot. This is like a Sunday afternoon going from, you know, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
type of long haul. Otherwise,
This
I feel like it needs to be a campaign.
It would be a great game to play if you are like, hey, we went to the cabin in the middle of winter.
That's a great way to phrase that, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
we don't have, yeah, we have other board games, but it's like, okay, do we want to play Print Weaver or Talisman? Both of them are going to take us 12 hours and a lot of arguing.
Yeah.
And the exploration is really kind of what takes up so much of that time, because technically you could expedite that, but then you're completely taking away the roleplay aspect from the players getting to know each other more, delve into themselves, because you're only going to learn so much about your character and the other characters in combat. You need those random encounters for you to determine how would my character respond to this circumstance. And again, you guys went 4 hexes, not because you guys were dicking around and trying to be funny and ruin like the exploration aspect of the game, but I'm going to give you guys the space to explore and interact with these things that you're coming across. So
Right.
you really need just that extended period of time to truly get into this. This isn't one you're just going to sit down. We got 4 hours to spare. Let's see what we can
Right.
do. This one's not it for that.
Yeah.
No. And
Yeah,
like,
because there's an encounter every morning, noon, and night.
Yep.
Like, you can't. I don't feel like in a normal 3-hour session you can get through with more than that, especially if you're going to either combat or have that interaction with those monsters.
So you got to think, even with the centaurs, that was just you see 2 centaurs. I added the flavor text of them looking for their little sister's stuffed animal. That was a 10-minute encounter just because you guys were, oh hey, what would we do in this circumstance coming across it? And you don't want to take those moments away just to get to the world building aspect of it.
And
No, and that's like I was saying earlier, like it puts a lot of work on the DM, because some of those encounters just have to be like, you come across a waterfall. Nothing more. It's not a magical waterfall. There's not a hidden.
But what player's gonna look at a waterfall like, oh, you told me there's a waterfall? There's got to be something here for me to interact with and learn more about.
Is it a mimic? Is it a mimic? It's a mimic.
Sometimes, you got to have the right characters for it, or right players for it as well. And sometimes, the first couple of sessions is establishing that, okay, yeah, it's a waterfall. We investigate it. Anything there? No, you don't see anything at the waterfall. It's just, it's a place where you can get some fresh water and maybe return to later. Mark it on your maps. Okay, cool. And you move on from there. It's all said and done. It takes 3 minutes. But what? That's it. It takes 3 minutes if everyone accepts okay, the DM's not trying to trick us out of something cool. He's just establishing there's a waterfall here for us to return to if we want it.
And I can't believe I'm about to say this because I hate I enter a room, I need a perception check. I hate that part of D&D. This game is missing perception and investigation.
Yeah, it is missing searching.
Again, as somebody who hates that part of D&D because it just drags so much of a session down. You're missing a good chunk of a TTRPG because otherwise the GM is just going to be filling in space to make sure you get every important detail. But like you said, you didn't do it on purpose. You weren't trying to be funny. You went to that first text like, yeah, I would be the scout of this. I would go explore into this first to see what I come across before everybody else jumps into that. And then immediately oh, there's not a rule. There's not a mechanic for this that already exists.
And then for the going from space to space, either, again, it's all on the DM because either, I know a lot of work is usually on the DM no matter what RPG you're going to be playing, but this one in particular, either you have to specifically line up every hex beforehand, plan out the entire map of this area beforehand so that you have it, you already know everything, every little detail of every empty space between settlements or whatever for us to explore and find out, and then you fill in the minor details as we go, or you just have the brain and you have the table set up from playing a bunch of other games like this where each hex is completely new. And I think that might be the best way to play this game, is instead of what you kind of did of setting up a map beforehand, is as the DM you have tables and stuff set up, so okay, you go this direction, roll a die.
Here's the hexagon. You go north, northeast, or what would that be? North, northeast, southeast, south, west, and then actually build on center map, and then you just expand out as your players.
And it's just a random tile.
Yep.
Based on what which direction you go, and so it's just and you build it kind of like you would for Betrayal at House on the Hill, where every room that you go to, you lay out a new tile. If that's the way that you want to play a game, this doesn't have the table set up to do it, but everything else is set up pretty nicely to be that. And if you as a DM either just know, can make stuff up on the fly like that yourself and make it make sense for each consecutive hex, great. Or if you have the tables already set up to do that and make it no work at all for you, so you just roll a die and cool, this hex is this, then this game could be incredible. And that's how you would have to make it be you don't spend time on different hexes and everything exploring them. It's random encounters all the way, and each encounter is could be anything from a fight to there's nothing here. It's an open field.
Which raises a good question, and I think that we don't have a general scoring rubric, but I think a question you do need to ask when it comes to TTRPGs is this a online game? Is this an in-person game? Is it both? And I think Printweaver is going to fall into that realm of this is going to be an in-person TTRPG. I don't think it exists well in a space of online only.
I agree.
It can be done, but I think to really optimize what Printweaver has to offer, I think it's an in-person game.
And again, I've got an entire box of random dungeon squares, pieces, for randomly exploring dungeons and Dungeons and Dragons. And if I had something like that, hell, if I just repurposed some like Catan pieces and added some shit in there, that's what I would use for this game. I would just randomly like shuffle them around and like flip them as the party goes in different directions, and that's just what I would have set up for this game. But like, unless you do all that work ahead of time, this game falls flat.
So next question then for everybody: would you come back and play again?
Yes. All the complaints I have about the game, I still would.
I would. I think it can be a really beautiful game. If, like you said, in person, I feel like it would be a great game to sit down and play with friends. Like,
I was just about to say that. I feel like it would help the visuals being in person, just in general. It was a lot of fun still. Like, I feel like you did a really good job of like kind of bringing it to life more. I enjoyed that aspect because I need the visuals, you know, and having the maps.
Same. I can't visualize things, so if I don't have these, I'm useless.
I feel that. Yeah.
It's definitely a game that I would come back to. But that's also I'm a caveat. That's also because I'm new to it, and I think that it's fun and exciting. I do think that because I mean, unless I randomly rolled stats, I'm not too drawn to it. There are a lot of improvements that I'd like to see. Like I think that there's a lot of room to like really make it really cool. All the stuff that you three have kind of talked about. That I think we kind of just make it push it up a notch. But that's where I stand.
I agree.
That's the beauty of TTRPGs and D&D and anything like that in general. If this person writes the book to, give you, honestly, like a starting block, like an idea of, and then, if you don't want to put any flavor on it, like it's still playable, but like, as a DM or GM or, even a player, there's always something you want to do. Even something as so rule heavy as either Pathfinder or D&D, you always find that homebrew or that little piece of flavor to put in there to make it your own. Like, I know that you guys are doing Curse of Strahd, and that your GM puts flavor into it. It's not just we're reading the book, this is how it's going. There's these little things that make a joke, like as you continue on, like Kermie, do like being able to like bring this character, like a frog character in, like if you were to just
a Muppet specifically.
Yeah, a Muppet specifically. Like if you were to play this game by the book, it's not really said that there isn't, but it's kind of said that they're humanoid types of characters. So I feel like taking this game and it being a beautiful game, we can always make it better by putting our homebrew flavor on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like Geoffsits says, like Catan pieces, and like Magic says, switching it up, like adding like this character type of creation, like as a GM, you can do that with your own game. So I feel like this as a whole, like you can make it how you want, but overall is a beautiful game and a beautiful way to look at like character creation. Like it's a fingerprint that like
it's just so original.
Yeah.
Even though you've made probably that character a billion times, like I really like to play sorcerers, and even though I've made just different versions of it, they're all different, and that's what I feel like this writer was trying to convey, that each character you build is different and brings in a little bit of you every time you build a character.
I'm definitely going to pull this one out and try and play it with people in person here.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have 3 rules, like 3 homebrew rules that I'm going to try out the next time that we play. One of them is, I don't think I'll have the Catan pieces ready, but I brought it up with both T and Brit about this, of just like, I'm going to do, or the Quiet Year. The Quiet Year is a game where you use a deck of cards and go through 4 different seasons and try and set up a settlement. my plan is to try and use something similar to that, and just as we explore different places, like maybe it's cards, maybe it's just a deck of cards and we use that list or whatever, but maybe try without a DM necessarily, or like as we're exploring, those places are set up and filled in by the players that's taking the lead for that leg of the journey. That will encourage different people to give it a chance, or to maybe force people to, like, as you're going through a rotation of like, okay, now it's Flash's turn to lead the party for the afternoon, so he'd draw the card, and like you get an option of either that you come to a fork in the road, do you go left or do you go right, or whatever. Like, it'll be more in depth than that, but
Right.
still. So that for exploration. For character creation, give people, like, I think it was you, Magic, who mentioned doing the Dark Souls thing. Give people the chance, like, maybe have a couple of classes that are already set up, or give people the option to use their own fingerprints for it. And then for character, if you really want to like generate something, use a D6. A 1 or 2 would be a loop, 3 or 4 would be a whirl, a 5 would be an arch, and a 6 would be an obscured, because the arch is not as prominent as, or maybe be a little bit easier to like get the arch than obscure, but still, you know.
I think that's definitely a good way to mix it up too, so that the game stays fresh when you want to like replay it. Yeah.
And like they mentioned that arch is the rarest of the 3, so like make that one a little harder to get, and make obscure even harder to get. But like that way people still have the opportunity to try a completely different character every time they want to.
Very unique that way too. I like that.
And then there was one more. There was the character creation, the exploration. Adding in skills. And this might start getting a little too complicated, but maybe just add in like 2 or 3 skills per attribute, and have a way to assign proficiency to them based on the score that you have in each attribute. So like with willpower, make that like arcane, knowledge, and searching, or something, maybe. And like if you have a 5 in willpower, you've got 5 points that you can add to any of those, and when you make a roll with that, instead of adding the full thing, you just roll whatever amount of points you have in there plus whatever you want to add in from your will per roll. But like to do better, you still need to add in the points from your will, something like that. And like, so 3, as Brit was saying, like 3 homebrew rules, because they gave us the guidelines, the base, the stepping stone to step off of, but like those homebrew rules will make it something that we can just play in an evening now, rather than having to do a full campaign every time.
I think I'd give Print Weaver 3.5 dice.
Is this out of 5?
Out of 5, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I give this 2 D20s, and a D6, and probably half a D4. Not a D2, half a D4.
I think I'm gonna give it a 3. And
Okay.
And this is not, you know, I think maybe when we go back to our second session, maybe we re-rate it. I think we just did jump into the safe haven as well as the shrine building, which I still feel is like a little bit empty because we haven't had that chance yet. So I feel like right now is 3. I give it as 3 because I feel like there's room to grow a little bit, but also that's again the beauty of homebrewing. You can add to it and make it that 5 that you're looking for. There's avenues, because there's someone who likes it as is and wants to play it as is. This is just me. I'm not a combat person. So, that's another reason why I rated it a 3. I'm not really combat. When it comes to combat, I'm like, I can take it or leave it. I really like
the collaborative storytelling.
Yeah, the collaborative storytelling is really what catches me, which I feel if we had more than a one-shot, it could create, again, a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Flash, resident newbie. How many dice you scoring it?
Yeah, I feel like I don't really have experience to kind of base it off of, but I would say kind of around the same realm as the both of you. I'd do like a 3.5, you know, maybe a 3.25 if I could. But
we're doing 3.25 because I can't wait to see what the graphic comes out to be for this.
You don't have to make it. I do.
And that's mainly because I feel like we were just starting to kind of get more into the story. I feel like I like the open-endedness. That's what I really enjoy about this. Like, you can literally go in any direction. And I feel like we were just starting to become more comfortable with one another. I feel like maybe the progression of the story was taking a little bit of a long time. But other than that, you know, like, I feel like for the most part, you know, it was a fun time, just kind of like learning what I can and can't do, and just kind of like figuring out like, how do I mesh with this group of people and, you know, I guess create harmony versus like, do I want to create chaos right now?
The answer is always yes.
Yeah, but like doing so in a way that's not fun, that's not unfun for other people. So
it's TTRPGs. Chaos is fun for everybody. Unless you are going out of your way to ruin somebody's personal experience, nobody at a table is ever going to be like, "Oh, why are you doing something so chaotic?" Everybody's just going to tack on and add on with it.
That's dope. Yeah.
All right, Magic. What you rating it?
I'm gonna go with a 3 as well.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of things that we haven't seen yet too. I am very interested in the safe haven and the other uses of like how to get the ink out of the monsters. I'm drawing a lot of parallelisms to Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and that gets me very excited because I do enjoy those games. And I think really leaning into that more within like the encounters, you know, kind of being like, you know, when you're running in the open world and you see that the next boss, you're like, okay, well, do I engage or do I not in that assessment? So I'm going to say a 3.
Which makes me feel I was very nervous that this game could be too difficult. So as I kind of established these encounters, I did go a little lighter on them because, one, I was nervous about Flash. I didn't want him to be overwhelmed by these stupid, ridiculous level of creatures. It's his first time playing. Then versus you, like between you and Brit, your guys' obscurity rating, the statistical likelihood that you guys take damage is already very low. And before your guys' vitality even gets hit, you were going to be taking so many hits. So I know when we come back, I can still step it up a notch to give it more, because you're going to go into a Souls-like game understanding, like, I want to pull out my hair, I want to cuss under my breath, I want to tell the GM to fuck off and stop being a dick, because, like, it's intended to be that level of difficult. So I was very nervous about that, but now I can throw more shit at you guys and not be too worried about it.
I want to preface, I don't need a TTRPG to say those things to your face.
She does it anyways.
Love that.
All right, Geoffsits, what you got?
I'm gonna be rather generous on this one. I know it was because I know I've mentioned all these rules that I can tack on and add on for homebrew stuff, but that's kind of like, as has been mentioned, that's what happens at any table. Like, you end up coming up with homebrew rules that work out well. So I'm still going to call this a 4.
Okay.
Because it allows you so easily to tack on homebrew rules. There's a lot of potential here for a good game for a specific group of people. It's not for everyone. It definitely is not for everyone, but I feel like the exploration, the baseline is there. Combat is well thought out. Combat in particular is not overly complicated, but it's not too dumbed down either. Like, it hits that sweet spot almost dead on for combat. So I'm gonna say 4. And I might end up changing that with the second session, depending.
So at the moment, the RPG project is scoring this 3.35 dice.
I like it.
Nice.
I think once we see more, I will definitely rate it higher.
I agree.
I just feel like the tip of my toe got wet on this. Like we said, I need more time
Oh shit, Magic just about jumped out his seat. He about to come in with that hot take. Oh, get ready!
No, I mean, Roland's bringing up a really good point, and we've already discussed this, which is like about this being a campaign game. Again, in line with Souls, like you get a reward from defeating something every time, and I think those rewards sometimes aren't worth it at all. Sorry, my blinds are trying to kill me. Sometimes don't matter at all, and sometimes they're like super beneficial. And so I think where this game could really shine to is like, I've not looked at the gear, I don't know what's there, but like really taking the time and encounter after encounter, just like seeing which ones are worth the risk and getting better and better gear to make it more interesting in a longer run. But that's going to take time. Which I think is like, I feel like it's like the sweet spot, but we're gonna hit that.
And we got to see the start of it because Geoffsits got the mandible sword and the cloak. We started to see it, but you're only getting 2 items and there's 4 of us.
Yeah, I'm a loot whore. I will always give my players loot because I love seeing. It just adds so much more when, especially knowing what you guys are like looking for. I can kind of favor towards you so you guys can. I love when my players get to feel like the gods in these worlds because everybody wants to be that badass. The real world sucks. We play these games to get away and be above and beyond. And so, yeah, at these times, I'm going to give out that cool shit as much as I possibly can. And then so later, I can throw even more heinous shit at you and be like, listen, you got the tools to defeat him. This is on you.
Goddamn horse. That's on you.
No.
I asked for a horse.
And I told you no. Ride a cowboy. Brit, so where can they find you on the interwebs?
You can find me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all under Let's Get Rollin', either Let's Get Rollin' or Let's Get Rollin' TTV. Can't say I'll give you great content, but I'll give you content.
What about you, Flash?
You can find me streaming on Twitch at blackkidflash, and if you want to see my chaotic Twitter posting, you can find me at blackkidtrash. So,
which I just recently followed him. Grade A content there. I'm not gonna lie. He asks the best questions.
I stream a lot of like horror games, so a lot of the time, I'll be playing like Dead by Daylight or some new horror game that's come out recently. I've been playing My Friendly Neighborhood, which is like Sesame Street meets Resident Evil Muppet horror game. It's
what
absolutely
the fuck
hilarious.
Did you just say?
Listen.
I'm seeing the
Is that where your
inspiration
mind
for
came
Sir
from?
Kermit.
Yeah.
here.
I came into this with an open mind, and definitely recommend checking that game out.
Fair enough. All right, Magic, where can they find you?
Hello, my name is Randall, otherwise known as Magic. You can find me over at the Magic Academy over on TikTok, Twitch. Wow, Twitch, Instagram at magic_academy. If you can't find us there, add a 20 at the end for D20. Because people stole my name.
Bastards. Give it back, fuckers.
We do a bunch of D&D and TTRPG content. We currently are running 3 different campaigns at the moment of this release of this episode. We are running Odyssey of the Dragonlords, Curse of Strahd, and Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. So feel free to pop over. And thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks for coming. Unfortunately, you guys can't find Geoffsits on the internet. He doesn't exist.
You gotta hunt me down in person.
You can find him in a tree.
Usually, yeah.
If you want more Geoffsits content, he does exist some in the 4 Geeks by Geeks community. We have sporadic episodes of Kingdom Come. We have Beyond the Edge, which is a Geoffsits run DM game for an expansion of my campaign Kingdom Come. He was involved with our
missing the last episode of that one forever.
Missing the last episode of that one. We have our City of Mist campaign, which he was a player. We do have all of those episodes. And that's it. That's the only content you get of Geoffsits. Nothing else exists.
I'll pop into chat for Let's Get Rollin' and 4 Geeks by Geeks all the time as well, though. So, and I am, part of the Discord community for both as well. So if you have questions or want to talk or reach out, that's usually where you can find me.
And I'm T, talking at 4 Geeks by Geeks. You can find us on Mondays with Boser doing a Geek Out session. T streams on Wednesday. We're making a video game. We stream our Cloudscape campaign on Thursdays. And then now once a month, you will be getting the RPG project thrown into your feed as well.
Okay.
Thanks for rolling with us. I'm Brit.
I'm Flash.
I'm Magic.
Geoffsits.
I'm T. And you guys just keep geeking out.
Geeking out.
Bye.
Bye.